Yo, yo, we're live. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Mm-mm-mm. If you guys can hear me, just let me know down in the comments. Yep. All right. Cool. Everyone's saying we can. We can. Welcome, guys. Welcome. This is a birthday stream. It's my birthday. I don't know if you guys know. For everyone that sent me messages over on IG and Twitter today, I appreciate all of you guys. I went out today, but I was like, you know what? Let's do another stream. I did one yesterday for Chelsea. I did one for City last week, and let's make it 3 out of 3 with Manchester United. And I think the only person worth talking about United, there's a lot of United content creators on Twitter, on social media, but I thought this person would be quite unique in the sense of just talking about the tactical game. I like to call him the OG Tactical on Twitter. He doesn't like to show his face, but hey, this is a new one today. My brother.
Yes, man.
You say it.
Yes. That was like Bruce Buffer type intro. That was crazy.
How are you, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I didn't know it was your birthday. Happy birthday, man.
I appreciate it, man. I
Well,
appreciate it. Went out today with the family, with some friends. I was like, you know what? Let's because the Premier League is about to start next week. I was like, fucking hell. I was like, I now have to do 4 more streams. I'm like,
I knew as soon as the preseason was coming back. I was like, when we like cut off and like internationals went away, it was like 2 weeks until preseason. It was like, fucking really?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want to see these. I don't want to see these guys for a long time.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But cool. Before, I don't know if you've seen the previous streams. Before I start the actual topic itself, I like to get to know my little guest a bit more. How long have you been a United fan for?
Every single day of my life, literally every single day. I'm born like right next to Old Trafford, pretty much. So yeah, I'm lifelong born and bred. Yeah, I know. People always make like fun of it because like people think I sound Scouse sometimes. I don't know how. I get that a lot. Like some guy who keeps asking on my TikTok, like, what do you support Liverpool? I'm like, why would I support Liverpool? Like, I'm Mac. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But,
so what? So what would you be your favorite moment as a United fan for you?
Oh, mate, it's so angry because I'm only 22, so I turned 22 like literally last month, and my era of like recollection is the worst decade in the club's history. Like it's not even funny. So like my peak football understanding is like first year LVG. That's when I started to fully understand what was going on, and like there's like half-hearted good moments, but like I always call them like paper mache moments. Like you have the initial buzz from winning like a trophy or a big game, but then you wake up the next day and you're like, oh, but you know the club's still in tatters. This player's still kicking off. This player's still crap. Right? And like best moment is probably. I'd probably say the Europa League under Mourinho from like recollection, like actually having the full weekend where I knew what was going on and stuff like that. Then that would have been unreal. I barely remember like 12, 13, barely. Okay. Like I don't remember it that much at all because I can't even lie about it. I remember us winning the title. I remember like Wayne Rooney scoring a bicycle kick. But literally there's nothing.
That's the only thing. Yeah.
Well, Mourinho like. That Mourinho like season, because it was the last game of the season and everything like was riding on it. We had to win it to get Champions League football. We finished outside of top 4, but it was also going to be a top European trophy and then some. I think, and then obviously going into next season, everyone thought, oh, we'll kick on now, get the big players in. But yeah, that's probably where I thought that Man United were the most like set they've been in a while. But last season would have been nice to win the FA Cup. I think I would have counted that FA Cup because it would have meant so much, even though it was just taking the treble off them. Yeah, I think that would have capped it. But I think Carabao Cup's just so meh because it's mid-season. It's like 4 days and you're going away to Stoke or Southampton or it's like I don't want to do that. So
how did you feel when Ronaldo came back?
I loved it, man. I'm not gonna lie. People think I love Ronaldo. Like I genuinely do, but people think I absolutely hate him. Nah, it's proper weird because like Ronaldo was always my guy growing up. Like I don't know if people understand this because like it's proper Mancunian this, but everyone wanted to be Ronaldo in Manchester, like everyone.
Yeah.
And like it was the same with Rooney, but Ronaldo was like more eye catching. Like there was more swagger to him, like marketing, I guess you could call it or whatever. So like obviously when Ronaldo was I watched so many games of Ronaldo just back like 90 minutes all the way through. I was like, wow, this guy was absolutely exceptional. I used to copy the boots, used to copy the highlights in the hair, used to do everything. And then when he come back, I didn't like I did understand football, but I didn't understand tactics how I do now. But I honestly, even if it was me now, I wouldn't care. I'd have just been like, oh my god, I don't care. Yeah, there's just something about it. Like there's certain stuff that like football just gets you going with. And I know there would have been certain Man United fans who were sitting there going, oh, this guy's not good enough anymore. Like, why are we doing it? But like, I just the emotion. And I went to the Newcastle game as well, so it was like, man, I paid so much money for a ticket. I honestly didn't care.
Oh, that game! Oh man, the goals, the celebration.
I thought we were so back because I obviously like I reserved my emotions about Ronaldo. I was like, he's not the player he once was. Like, I need to understand this. Like, he's a poacher now. And then, but emotion just gets the better. Like, I'm such like a top red. Like people think because I do tactics that like I'm just disconnected with like emotion in football. But my God, there's nothing better than it. Nothing better than it.
100%. No, 100%. What's your worst moment as a United fan? And you know what? Don't say 7-0.
Nah, that wasn't. That actually wasn't. Oh. That actually wasn't. Nah, not even close. Nah, not even close. Ooh. I hated the 7-0. I hated it. But the 7-0 for me, like we only conceded 8 shots on target, right? Right. And even though we got absolutely trounced, it was like gradual. Like you could see us capitulating. Mm-hmm. And like for example, the most annoying thing about the 7-0 for me is like De Gea getting chipped at his front post. Mm-hmm. Like stuff like that. And Bruno doing that thing where like he didn't track that guy back and he just gave up. Them little things make me more angry. Because like people like you can't just lose 7-0. Like it's not a thing to just go out and lose 7-0.
Exactly.
But like I've had worse moments. Like I didn't like because at 4-0 I was gone. Like it was cut off. Like I didn't care what happened after the game. Like it's the same with the City game, the same with the Tottenham game.
Bro, I'm the same. When Barca beat us 5-0 and of Mourinho's first Clasico, that was the Pep time. They destroyed us. I still haven't seen the 5th goal for Barcelona. I know who scored. I still haven't seen it. After 4-0, I just turned it off, bro. So I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Brentford away was worse for me. The start of the season, 110%, because I thought we were genuinely back. Like not just like back as in, oh, we're gonna win a title, but like this guy's got something here. And then as soon as we went into Brentford, the same things that everyone said all year, building up to Ten Hag's football, just like came to fruition straight away. Like there was just no beating around the bush. Like you know, we couldn't play out from the back. We went long. We got absolutely battered. Like we tried everything. Nothing worked. Ronaldo was like kicking up a fuss. Like the whole team was kicking off. I remember I left that game at half time to go to the pub, and I sat in the only pub in like my area. I was about to say my street name. I sat in the only pub in my area without a football screen on. I was like me and my mate. There was only 2 people in there, and I did not care. I was so disconnected. Like I just didn't. I didn't want to touch football.
That's painful.
And then, yeah, man. Villarreal. Someone said Villarreal in the chat. That's probably the most depressing because there's nothing like I just said to you about the patriotism when it comes to football and the emotion. Winning the Europa League under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have been absolutely mint. Like I don't care that it like might have ended the same way it did, but to win a trophy with that guy at the helm, like I'd have loved it, man. I'd have loved it, and it just happened to be that muppet in there, just letting off 11, man.
Hey, I can't lie. We're gonna talk about this person throughout this stream. But now you know what I hear.
10 years off my life, man.
Huh?
He's took 10 years off my life. Genuinely.
Bro,
And that's stress.
we were one fax machine away from getting him. So you know what?
Oh,
I'm
thank
great.
God for that.
I'm,
Jesus.
I'm grateful for that fax machine every single day, bro. I pray every single day for that to happen.
You'd be at I-bar by now.
Bro, La Decima would have never happened. The treble would have never happened if we had him, man.
Oh my God, it was that era. Oh my days.
Trust me. But
United
now,
and Real Madrid like kind of get on as well because we hate Barca because they battered us twice in 2 Champions League finals. Like we hate them. The only thing we have over Barca is the Cup Winners' Cup final and the 08 semi-final, and they're like the only 2 really. And it's like wow, like
you know what? You're right. You know, like there's something about United and Madrid. Like the players we've got.
we've been battered off Madrid. Like even when R9 scored a hat-trick at Old Trafford, he still got applauded off the pitch by United fans because we loved him that much. Like that's like we would not have done that for like Samuel Eto'o.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like that.
Our only disagreement was the Nani moment against Alberoa, Champions League 13.
Oh yeah, that's true actually. Yeah,
12-13.
yeah, that is. But that at the same time isn't really Madrid's fault. So yeah.
I can't lie, it was a clear red card, man.
Oh. Do you know what's mad? Like there was so much like thing about it not being a red card, but if that happened today, it'd definitely be given as a red card.
100%, bro. 100%.
Like, definitely would have been given.
And that Turkish referee, I love him so much as well.
Yeah.
Because that game that we lost against Dortmund in the semis, but that game, that was the moment of Luka Modric's career Madrid starting. That was the game that kickstarted everything.
Yeah. We hate Bayern as well, you know. I was just thinking about it then. Like Bayern as well.
We've got Bayern. Whenever we play Bayern, we've got a good day against Bayern.
We got to be fair, we've got the final in '99 over him. But like that Robben goal, man.
That's the way. Iconic.
I remember celebrating Evra's goal against Bayern Munich, and by the time we'd like finished celebrating, we'd already conceded. That was going nuts. Like, getting
Evra's goal was a banger, though. I can't lie, it was a banger.
Mate, it's unbelievable. The celebration's nuts as well. Just kind of jumps in the air.
Yeah.
Just does not care.
I remember I saw a tweet the other day saying, if you score a sick goal, a banger, you don't know how to celebrate. Like Rooney's goal. He scored one of the most all-timers, but his celebration was absolute. Like, what kind of celebration?
Rooney's a bit of a nutcase, man. Do you remember like that goal he scored against Newcastle where he was like having an argument with the referee? And then after it, he just kind of like gives it like proper gets up for it.
He's a crackhead, man. He's a crackhead. Yeah. But yeah, listen, let's talk about United. You guys, of course, played today. I didn't watch the game. I saw some of the highlights. I was out. You guys, of course, played your last preseason game. Before we quickly talk about anything else about it, what was your thoughts about the game today? I don't know if you saw the game or not.
Nah, I saw it. It was all right. The first half was really stagnant. This is kind of a problem I always have with like judging preseason games because you can just tell that the players aren't like you can try and fire them up as much as you want as a gaffer, but there's just no way that you can get them up for a league game the same as you can with a preseason game. So I just feel like the intensity, especially in possession, just isn't there. And obviously the goal was freakish. Like the first goal anyway. I don't even that back four in possession is worrying me like more day by day. Like because we've got no deep midfielders because we've banged on like signing Mason Mount to sit next to Bruno, and Casemiro's not going to twist and turn out of pressure for all he does good off the ball. And it's like them 4 players in front of that goalkeeper have to be so good. And like Dalot having like a lapse in concentration for like a 4-yard pass is nuts. Like I can't even explain to you how nuts that is. Like you just don't do that at the top level. And that's what worries me because like we always go into the first game like that. Like we're always off the pace. But now the second half was much better. The second half was much better. I liked
second goal was good as well.
Yeah. To be fair, it was so weird because we didn't change much structurally, but the whole game changed. And it was like when we win the ball back, instead of just passing it backwards, we'd actually try and break on them. And this is something that we always should try and do. I've been like a massive advocate for a Rashford at centre forward, like, because I think if you play a player, like, I think his best position's off the left for sure, but out of possession, he's not a winger. So like his fullback's just chilling in free space every single time. So I always think that just sticking a guy out front who's got ridiculous pacing behind, movement, he can now score with his head. Like it's just magical. And then you see it when you play like two younger, like athletic wingers on either side of him. You can just see how much you can stretch teams on the break. And I think that goal that we scored, the Anthony goal, was just like exactly how we want to use the ball, especially in like counter-attacking situations. Yeah, because like people were saying we're knocking the ball long in the first half. When Ten Hag talk about transition, that's not transition. Like people have got this like weird misconception that a transition is knocking the ball long. Like it's not. It's just knocking the ball long. No, that's not a counter attack. That's not launching a counter attack. It's just launching the ball. And that's something that Onana's done for ages now. It's not like managerial instruction. Like he's just a long ball guy. But like transition on the deck, like the stuff we used to do under Solskjaer when we were the best under Solskjaer, was like proper slick, fast forward line. They can all play in each spot, so they can just all interchange in the front line. And that idea. Yeah, and that's like United heritage. Like we've had that for so many years. Like United fans are accustomed with seeing that, and I just think that with Hojlund in it now as well, like that guy could do so much running, like so much running. So it's gonna be nuts when we're on the break. But people saying that we're long ball is like it's just stupid to me because we do play a lot of long balls. But they're not. That's not the style of play. Like
yeah. Speaking, I mean, you of course you mentioned Hojlund. Of course, he got introduced today. Quite a decent introduction towards the Old Trafford. It reminds me very similar to the Varane last season. To be fair, the way he came in. What's your? I know you've done a video about it. What's your thoughts on Hojlund? Do you think he is the person for you guys? Because I'm still quite skeptical about it in a way.
Yeah, no, I'm skeptical. I don't think anyone should be. I'm not going to say I don't think anyone should be expecting something big because in my heart I do think that he will produce something big. I think I mentioned this in like loads of different tweets, but in terms of how we want to play, in terms of that pattern of play that the second goal was, if you stick him up front in this team, he's going to score goals. Like there's absolutely no doubt about it. Like. I think people getting tied into his goal record, Atalanta, and stuff like this, like these stats are like proper like butchered, like very butchered. He gets a goal every other game, and that on the eye is a very good return. But when you look at it, without all the index, it's 32 games, 9 goals, and so I think you look at him. He's just the pace, energy, runs the channels. Strikes the ball well. He's 6'3". Like he's not going to have trouble adapting to the physicality of the league, especially when getting in behind. Like I don't see him struggling. To be honest, I'm not going to lie. I don't see him struggling. I think there might be certain worries in terms of his hold-up play. Like I think back to goal. This is going to sound stupid, but he reminds me a lot of Darwin Núñez. Like he actually does. Okay. So he's very erratic. Like. He's a kick and run type of player. Like he's not a very secure technical guy, but he can definitely like create a lot of space and chances for himself just by movement. Yeah, just pure movement. But I think he's a better finisher than Darwin Núñez, and I also think he's more secure with the ball. But I just think with the way he likes to break forward and like his movement's just so unpredictable and stuff like that. On the eye, he does look a bit like Darwin Núñez, but in my opinion, I think it's weird though because like Darwin Núñez played off the left, but he played with a striker who likes to drop really deep, and Hojlund played at the top of a front two mainly for Atalanta, so he was practically being that second striker who could roam around a bit. But obviously now at United, he's going to be a number 9, like lone number 9. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see if he actually tailor-mades himself to being a lone number 9 rather than getting about and stuff like that. We'll see. I've got high hopes for him regardless. So really high hopes. I'd be disappointed if he didn't get like 10, 12, league goals.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because I'm quite interested to see what Ten Hag's gonna do. Because of course it's gonna be a 4-3-3. We all go that 4-2-3-1, whatever you guys do with a double pivot or not. But for some reason I still feel your best formation. This is just me. If is the 2-man up front, him and Rashford up front. I don't see Rashford being on the left hand side. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, to be fair, because I think two striker formations, especially off the ball, the back, like, because the 4-4-2 is everyone sets up in a 4-4-2 off the ball now, like everyone. But in possession, it's really weird because I see Marcus Rashford as like a left forward. Like he's not a good enough dribbler anymore to play out wide touchline. And I don't think he's a good enough central player to be, doing all the hold up, the link up and stuff like that. But I think he has like them striker instincts. So I think, like you said, like a left or a front two would like suit him best. And obviously Hojlund at Atalanta played in a front two, and that suit him the best. As far as we know. So I think that's thing. Structurally, it'd be difficult because obviously they'd have to find out a midfield two to play, and it'd probably end up with either Bruno or Mount on the wing, which he has done before, to be fair. Like he has played Bruno off the right hand side. It's not my favourite thing to do, but
sorry, bro. Someone's knocking the door. One second. Sorry.
It's all right.
Actually, no, it's fine. I'm not sure what happened there. 1 second. But yeah, sorry. Go on.
I don't know. Like the whole team signing Mason Mount's kind of like butchered like any chance of a midfield
for you guys.
Readjustment. I was really skeptical about the signing when we first got linked, and then I've since you can't be negative on United Twitter, by the way, because it doesn't matter who you're negative to, you're just toxic no matter what you say. So I've always gone to let's be positive about everything, but then you get called toxic positivity. So
the thing is, you don't win, bro. Like you can say one word and it just gets turned around for no reason.
No, but I was really skeptical about him because I thought in my head, I know this is not how he set up at Ajax because he went with a destroyer and then two further players. But in my head, I always thought a guy next to Casemiro has to be like a Toni Kroos or a Modric, a guy who can get the ball deep and do stuff with it. And like Frankie, for example, like that kind of dynamic would have worked perfectly. And even though Mount has done like facets of his game where he drops deep, I'd like if you look at Eriksen the way he was used last year, he was coming like in the back three to pick up the ball and then play it forward. And I think without that guy next to Casemiro, I struggle to understand are we seeing Mason Mount in the first phase? Like I don't know if that's going to be sustainable at all, really. But
you've of course seen the rumors about Sofiane Amrabat joining you guys. How would it work out then? Let's say if Amrabat does join, do you see him starting next to Casemiro or not?
In certain games, I probably would. Yeah, I think so. In less ball dominant games, I would. Where we're dropping a bit deeper, which he likes to do, Ten Hag. But I think in like games where we have a lot of the ball, I think we can get away with that midfield three when we've got a lot of the ball. If we don't, then I think we struggle big time with that midfield three. But I like Amrabat. Like I've seen a lot of things towards the back end of last season that I didn't know we had. Like I knew he was an out of possession monster for Morocco in the World Cup. Like I knew he was like a terrier. I knew he got about. But then in the Europa Conference League final, he was proper like on the ball, dropping in, dropping out, spraying the passes, keeps it ticking over. He's very simplistic with his passing. He's like Declan Rice, like with the way he moves the ball, like very sideways, but also like effective-ish. Like and he likes to kind of run forward with the ball and get you up the pitch, but he also does the stuff in and out of the defense.
I saw a video of him. Shout out, of course, to James Hall. He was talking about 10 sixes that Liverpool should sign, and Amrabat was one of them. Quite interestingly, Amrabat's got James Hawker mentioned about he's got 3.5 progressive passes and progressive runs into the final third. I was like, shit. Like he's that advanced, which is quite surprising.
I didn't think he was mobile. I didn't think he was like I didn't think he liked to get forward a little bit. I thought he was much more of like a holder rather than a guy who likes to break forward a little bit more.
Exactly.
But I always thought in my head that I think with the way you view it, obviously we don't know what Ten Hag wants to do, but the way I view that midfield is you need a guy in there who can do the turning out of pressure. Like if I give the ball to Casemiro, Amrabat, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, any single one of them players in the number 6, I'm not trusting any of them to just swivel the way out of the press like Frankie does, for example. Like, and even though Amrabat's like a really good, like really secure guy on the ball, he's still not that type of guy, and that's why I like players like Romeo Lavia is like the name on everyone's lips, but that's his game. And Moises Caicedo does it as well, but they are premium options for a premium price, obviously. But like, I don't know.
But then again, you signed Mason Mount for 70 million, bro. Like you could have used that money much more wisely.
Exactly, yeah. Well, this is what I mean. I don't know what. It's a very advanced midfield, man. Like I don't know what I don't know what he wants to do next season, because something that like Manchester United fans have picked up on a lot this pre-season as well is that we've seen it a lot last season, but we don't have like a set structure when we're building. Like we don't have like, with Arsenal, that Ben White's going to be tucking in, that Zinchenko's going to come in field. United don't have that. United have like an unpredictable first like 5 players. Like you don't know where any of them will pop up. And like it can be a good thing because obviously the opposition might not know where to go to mark, which is probably why he's doing it. But it means that you can't identify. He can, obviously, because he's the eyes behind it. But as a fan, you can't identify what we need where. So like, you don't know if Amrabat signs or whatever. Casemiro might drop into centre half in possession. You don't know. He might do that, and then he puts Amrabat ahead of him. But for now, we're seeing different sorts of like today. I seen both fullbacks next to Varane with Martinez in midfield next to Casemiro, and that's like. That's how like scrappy it gets. That's how much mismatch goes on. So
I saw a lot. One thing I hate that City did, and listen, shout out to Pep. One thing I hate is the formation change. The 3 inverted stones next to Rodri. Now everyone on Twitter is asking their team to do the same thing. At one point this preseason, I saw United fans say, you know what, let's use Dalot as the Stones player and make him into slot into Casemiro. I was like, listen, Dalot will never, ever be that person. So you know what? So maybe Martinez could be that person for you guys. You never know.
Maybe. I mean, he's got that kind of turning. This is what people don't understand about when people are copy and pasting this thing about the 3-2-5 or the 2-3-5 formation and using inverted fullbacks. It's all to do with profiles. Like, you can't just walk into West Ham and do that. Like, people don't understand this. Like, you have to have the right players in your squad to be able to do that. And United can't do that because they don't have that. Can you imagine
Kufal from West Ham do
exactly. Exactly. And this is why you can see teams, you can see managers who do it, but it doesn't work. Like you can see managers who come in with these absolutely brilliant ideas and they want to invert the fullbacks and it looks really good on the eye, but then they'll get exposed down the channels or he takes longer to get back to his position, stuff like this. Inverted fullbacks are only there so there's less running for them because they used to get to the last line and going in field's a lot closer to getting to the last line. So that's the only reason why it does it. It's a minimal like shift in position. It means you can save like a lot of time and space in transition. But teams can't do that all the time. When you've got a player like Andrew Robertson, whose best attributes are in the final third, he cannot sit at left centre half. It doesn't work like that. And that's why all of a sudden Liverpool need a left centre half.
I said this the moment Klopp introduced that formation and used Trent. I said it since the first game I saw Robertson. I was like, you know what? This is not going to be it. I got cooked. So what are you talking about? But now look at it. What we spoke about Rashford. We spoke about Hojlund. What about the right-hand side? Who do you think is going to be that person? Is it Sancho, Anthony, Bruno as a right winger? What is it going to be like?
I don't know anymore. Like I don't like one-dimensional wingers. I hate them. Like I absolutely hate them.
You've got 2 of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst. Like we have one winger who can consistently take on a man, like one, and he's 19.
It's 19.
They don't even start. Like that's the crazy thing. But like the Anthony Sancho thing, like people like I've seen people talk about Sancho at false 9. And I refuse to comment on it because he's obviously not going to play there because we've just signed a £72 million striker.
Right.
So who do you think? And he's used Rashford there in the last game of pre-season. So that might be good enough for Sancho to do that because he can't run in behind and do all that. But he's not going to be good enough long term to justify £80 million to be a third choice rotational centre forward who's a false nine. And we can't score goals already. So if you take a false nine and put him in there, it's just not going to work. And that's why I refuse to comment on it, because why it's good for him, it's not good for the entire team. And I think I prefer Anthony to Sancho. I think on the cusp of things, I genuinely do, because I think Anthony works harder, and I think he's just got more intent. Like I think when Anthony gets on the ball, he's not as passive as Sancho. Like with Sancho, I almost feel like I'm almost urging him to actually like do something with the ball, like actually get at someone and play. Whereas Anthony, like he's not scared to take a shot. Like he's not scared to get the ball and stuff. And I don't mind a risk-taking player. I don't, because I think you can be a player like Jack Grealish, for example, or Phil Foden, who always plays inside. And on the cusp of things, that's probably worthwhile for the team, but we're not good enough to have a player of that profile be effective throughout the entire 90 minutes. If we give it to my winger, and my winger's got a 1 in 5 chance of scoring if he shoots from 30 yards, I'm taking that over 20 back passes. And that's what I think. I think that's what Anthony brings over Sancho. Not to mention, he's well better out of possession. Like
you guys are struggling. The way I'm hearing it, you guys are struggling.
The difference between the left side and the right side is nuts. Nuts. We don't have a first choice right back. One's just a world class lockdown defender who can't handle the ball, and one's just forward. I don't even know what he's good at anymore. Honestly, he can't cross. His final ball is shocking.
You know what? You know what? That's one thing I realized about him last season. He's not a good crosser.
He's so bad. I got cooked for saying that. I got cooked because I actually said that Wan-Bissaka is more effective than Dalot in the final third. Because I think that Wan-Bissaka's actually got pace to get in.
That's not even a hot take no more.
Nah, because Wan-Bissaka will actually get in. He'll get in and actually get beyond the last line. His cross might not be good, but all he has to do is pull it back. Like with Dalot, it's just cut back crosses from deep on the right channel, because he doesn't run in behind. It just does my head. When we have so many players on that right side, you just don't want to do it.
You know what's crazy? So compare your left-hand side with Shaw and Rashford to your right-hand side with what? With Dalot and Anthony. Yeah,
it's crazy. And the right back market and the right winger market are both shite.
Are both terrible. So it's terrible.
And we've lumped like 160 million on right wingers.
And none of them are even worth having.
No, Samuel Chukwueze has just gone to AC Milan for like 10 million euros or something. That guy's a mint.
20. Yeah, 20.
Like that guy's so good, but it's weird though, because Ten Hag talks about like he wants his players to run in behind, and he wants his players to make like really aggressive passes in behind. He said it in a press conference the other day. You signed Anthony. You signed Anthony, and you also have Sancho on the right-hand side, and then you have Rashford on the left-hand side. He doesn't even play as a winger anymore.
Doesn't even play on the winger.
He's not signed a player to do that, except from Hojlund.
You know, you mentioned it earlier. Your most impactful winger is on the bench. Your difference maker, your X factor is on the bench.
Yeah, he gets me off my seat though, because like when a player squares up the fullback at United now, if it's not Rashford, then I'm not bothered about the situation. Like I don't care for it. Yeah. I would rather I think like Anthony's couple goals where he scored on his left foot, like that's mint and everything. Yeah. Like he had that one against City. There was another one against like Betis, I think. And I think there was another one in the
cup as well. Yeah, I think it's good.
I think there was a cup one. Yeah, I think it's like Reading or something. Yeah. But like them goals are really good. But he's that one-dimensional that
that's the only thing he can do.
There's no way it can continue. Like this is the thing. The difference.
You know what pisses me off about Anthony? Whenever he's got the ball, there's so much space for him to drive with the ball.
Oh yeah,
that right-hand side, and he just cuts back.
Shuffles. Yeah, he just shuffles across. He does the Jack Grealish shuffle where he just kind of like brings it down the line. But then Jack Grealish, this is the thing, Jack Grealish actually takes it down the line now. Like there was that game against Real Madrid, especially at the Bernabeu. He actually took it down the line a couple times against Carvajal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it was like I was watching that and I was thinking, City's wingers aren't even like they're not even like bad anymore. Like they're not one dimensional anymore. They can actually do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pain at the moment. I think Sancho's a good player, but I don't think he's a good player in this team. I think if you lumped him into a team where they have a lot of the ball and they have like a lot of players who are running in behind, then it'll work. And I think that'll work with Hojlund. But I don't think you'll get enough game time to proper see that with Hojlund.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really see it. Especially considering he's probably going to be majority off the right, which means he's going to have to actually go down the line and cross from the line rather than come inside. So I don't know, because Garnacho's definitely ahead of him in pecking order now. Like,
do you see Garnacho towards December, beginning of next year as a starter for you guys?
Yeah. I think I would. Yeah, I don't know how it'll work. Depending on what we do with Rashford and Hojlund going forward, but I would expect him to see him on the team sheet almost every game. If it's not off the bench, then it has to be starting. Because I think that kind of dynamism that he brings, like you can just see it for the goal today.
You guys,
you can just see it for the goal. Like when Rashford pops it off to him, if that's any other winger in our team, they're not taking that extra touch down the line. They're not trying to go to the line, and I think he'll be Ten Hag streaming, like genuinely. Ten Hag will absolutely love him. And this is the thing. I don't get why we're not using Pellistri more, because Pellistri does that as well.
Exactly.
And he's
someone in the chat said as well.
Yeah. Like he's really good, but I don't know, man. I think you have to give the starts to these £80 million players.
I mean, you have to. I mean, you know what? That's annoying about it, though. Like you're basically just giving it just because of value and not because of performance or quality. Merits.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, for sure. I think you'll get a chance, because someone just said there. I completely forgot about it, but Hojlund's injured, so you'll get a chance, Sancho. But without that guy in the front line who will proper run in behind, I don't see how he's going to benefit his own game, because like. Me and Umair spoke about this on a podcast once, but we said that players play with complementary partners in their team, and if that partner isn't in the team, then that player doesn't become as good as it is. For example, Sancho with like Erling Haaland, for example. Mm-hmm. If Sancho didn't have a player like Erling Haaland to aim at, and he had a player like Haller, for example, would Sancho be as good as he is now?
Yeah.
Or would he be as touted as good as he is now? Do you know what I mean? And I think. Do you know what I mean? And we started speaking about that because we spoke about it with City's players now and Haaland. And we've obviously got a player who does that running now. So you'll start to see better versions of Sancho and Anthony for sure. But I don't know how much game time they will get, because time's seriously ticking, man.
Trust me. Trust me. We pretty much spoke about
bad again today.
Yeah. We spoke about pretty much everyone in the front line except for the one person who you guys have got a clause about him winning the Ballon d'Or in his contract, Mr. Tony Martial. Do you still believe in a remontada, or is it done now?
I don't know why. Like, I'm not sure if this is just United fans, but I have this weird thing with Martial. I know like it's definitely over. Like, there's no chance that he can come back, because £72 million striker, Rashford plays up front sometimes now. He's injury prone. And he doesn't light the world on fire when he does start. But there's just something about that guy. I don't know what it is. Like, but
what is it? You know what? What is it about you guys? It's not just you. It's you as a fan base. You guys have got a weird fetish with Martial.
Yeah, man. I think it's
the gloves. What is it?
I think it's genuinely because he was one of the only good players when we were shit. I genuinely think that's the case, because if you think about it, like, there's like clubs out there who have players who were like really good, but they were bad at the same time. Like Mark Noble, like he's a West Ham like legend, proper West Ham legend, and West Ham were like never peaking of powers and stuff like that when he was considered a legend. It's a pretty crap example. There's loads out there. Loads of Spanish teams have him, for example. Like they always have that old guy in there he definitely plays number 10. Like, do you know what I mean? And he just gets about and he just does the nice, simple things. And they're never good, but he's considered a legend. I feel like Tony Marshall did that for United. And this is the thing, like people are just hung up on it because he should have been better treated for like the early stages. That his development was really bad. Like he was so good when he was a winger, like so good. And then
you go Jose.
I don't know, man. Like I think United's just that fucked, like as a genuine like club that we don't have a set plan. So I reckon. Do you remember the thing with like Lukaku and stuff with the bulking and the trimming and the bulking and the trimming?
Yeah.
I reckon that stuff, like United don't monitor that at all. Like United don't have we have principles here, and whatever manager we have to appoint has to have these principles. And if he doesn't, then we don't appoint him. They will literally go and get like a red manager, a green man. Like they don't care. They'll just mix it all, and then you'll just get like you know what I mean? Nothing.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Mate, we was trying to play like counter-attacking football with like Matic. Who else was there? Who else was there up front now? When Ollie took over, we still had Lukaku.
Yeah,
Lukaku. We still had Lukaku
at one point, Fellaini was playing right wing as well, man.
Yeah, Phil Jones on corners. Mate, we've seen some
trenches.
Mate, I don't. Yeah, Mata as well. Someone just said that Mata's one of them guys as well who will be considered that kind of player at United. Mata and Martial, I feel like, were the only two like guys who were consistent when we weren't doing that well. Like I don't know what it is, but with Martial, I think you've seen a player who can be good, but for whatever reason, it's just not happened, and it's over now. Like it's definitely over now, but it is what it is, man.
Honestly, I know what you mean, and it reminds me of the person who's literally his shirt is behind me, and I want to talk about that guy later.
That as well.
I want to talk about that person later with the quick hitters. Another player that you mentioned just comes down is your left back, Luke Shaw, who's one day can be the best left back in the world, another day can be literally arguably worse than Alec Tejas for a second. What's your thoughts on next season?
I'm one of Luke Shaw's biggest fans, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, genuinely, I understand certain people when they talk about him because I think Coach Cams has said this a few times, and I do partially agree with it. And I think Liaz has said it a few times as well. Like he's been on the end of a lot of batterings, like, and consistently he's been in the teams who get battered. So I always feel like if you're in a team that's consistently getting battered, then you have to be doing something wrong. So defensively, I think Luke Shaw has a lot of worries. On the ball, I think he's easily top 2 left backs in the world, definitely. And like I'm being generous by saying top 2 because I would put him top 1. Genuinely, on the ball, I've not seen many better. Like he can do today, no, not all the time.
Today or over the last 5 years?
What? So you mean like a fullback from 5 years ago?
Yeah. You mentioned on the ball, he's top 2, arguably top 1. What are you basing it on? Is it right this second, this last season?
I'd say right this second. I think I would. I think Zinchenko is very good.
I can't lie, and you might say what? I can think of 3 already. That's better than him.
Go on.
And one is a 19-year-old that plays for Barcelona.
He's a winger, though, isn't he?
He's a left back.
Like, he's not a fullback. I think he can't do what Shaw does on the ball.
You said on the ball going forward. And I would rather I'll be honest, I'd rather have Bode on the ball going forward than Luke Shaw. I see what you mean, though. But
final third, yeah, I get you there. I mean, like, my left back is in left back. Like on the pitch, he's in
Yeah,
left back
that's
position.
different then. That's different.
Luke, in my opinion, no fullback comes close to Luke Shaw in that left back area. I think Balde's
Garcia,
definitely
baby.
I think that kid's really good though. Like, he absolutely ripped us when he played us. He's next level, like different gravy. I was petrified when we played him.
The difference in quality between Frank Garcia and Ferland Mendy is like having Casemiro and Scott McTominay. That's the difference in quality.
It's mad. It's mad Ferland Mendy, isn't it? Like, was he only rated because of FIFA?
Bro, he was rated because of
I
FIFA.
didn't really watch him. I didn't really watch him that much.
His first, listen, I'll be honest. His first 2 seasons, very good. And then, you know what? Good is an overstatement. He was all right. He was all right.
Yeah.
One thing he did well, the only thing he did well 2 seasons ago was, of course, I don't know if you remember, the clearance against Grealish in the 80th minute.
Oh, yeah.
85th minute. I was still, no. But last season, bro, I swear to God, I've never seen a downgrade of a season last season. Nah. Disgusting.
I thought they should be after. I seen a link to a fullback the other day. I think it might have been for a right hand side actually. No, I think I'm thinking of the right hand side because you need a right back as well, don't you?
Desperately.
You hate Carvajal, don't you,
bro? I love him. I love what he's done, but broski, I'd rather have you on the right hand side than Carvajal, man. He doesn't.
Mate, I'm not checking. I'll tell you that.
He does not offer anything. Going forward, defensively, crossing.
I'll tell you this. This would be a crazy lie, but I remember it. So like, I'll go into detail. Right. I remember you played City at the Bernabeu. Oh no, it might not have even been City. It might have been Chelsea. It might have been Chelsea actually. And I can't remember what it was, but me and my brother, like, we do betting like as a laugh. So I was like sat there, I was like, I'm with Bet365, and I was like, I just looked up at the TV, and I was just like, who's got a howler in him? And I was like, Danny Carvajal, and he got booked for like pulling the back of someone's shirt or doing something well stupid. I can't remember who it was against now. It was against either City or Chelsea, and I literally just looked at my brother and I was like, bro. And then you started tweeting about it. And I just couldn't stop laughing, man.
Bro, welcome to Danny Carvajal, bro. Welcome to Danny Carvajal.
He's crazy, man.
We're going into next season, 2023, with our options of right back of Danny Carvajal and Lucas Vazquez. That's how shit we are. But
man, that's crazy. Real Madrid kind of like.
But you know what? Go back to the Luke, huh?
The lineup's kind of mad, isn't it?
It's crazy, bro.
Like no number 9.
Our midfield is exceptional. You can pick and choose
the
combinations you want. You can pick and choose what you want.
You
want to see
that's a crazy midfield.
Chimeni as a 6, Camavinga as a 6. Do you want Jude with Modric, Fede? You can pick and choose. Going forward, we don't have no striker. We've got Joselu, and of course, hopefully next week, Kylian Mbappe.
You should just play a 4-6, just 6 midfielders. Just, do you know what I mean?
Bro, the reports came out a couple of weeks ago that Carlo Ancelotti is testing out Jude Bellingham as a false 9.
I seen that. Because
which, to be fair, I could potentially see some Jude false 9. Like his profile does fit a false 9, but of course not consistently.
He's just a really good late box runner. Like he's like, I think people really overcomplicate what Jude Bellingham does, because I think they think like they view him and they go, oh, this guy's like one of the best young midfielders in the world, so he has to excel at like the dropping the shoulder and like doing all these things. Now that guy just runs with the ball really well, sticks himself in the penalty area. He's a fucking brilliant tackler, and he works really hard. He's proper like he's a proper old school English midfielder, but like creme de la creme English midfielder.
Yeah,
the top of the top, and he's young, very very young.
Bro, like, it's crazy.
Even when United were in for him, he wouldn't really be like working our midfield, like in the same essence that Mason Mount, in my opinion, wouldn't. He'd play that role and he wouldn't be that profile. I'd still be absolutely gassed to have him. 100%. Like if you're gonna go out your way and mesh your midfield up, bring me a superstar. Do you know what I mean? Bring me a superstar who I can get behind. But no.
Did you just going back to your midfield quickly? Who did you want before you signed Mason Mount? Who did you have in mind for you to be sitting next to Casemiro?
My number one pick was Caicedo. That's actually my number one pick. Yeah. Okay. I think people obviously I don't think he's £100 million midfielder at all, but that guy. I don't know how much you watch him, but I absolutely love Brighton. I tuned into a majority of Brighton's games last year.
Of last season, same, yeah.
Mate, that guy can tackle. He can tackle. He can spin. He can carry. He can pass. That's what I want. He gets about well, and he just dodges players all day long. I think I really wanted Tchouaméni before he went to Madrid. My first TikTok is on Tchouaméni, and it's in early 2021.
Oh wow! Okay, way back.
Yeah, honestly, I used to have. So I'm not sure if you know, Scouted Football used to do publisher magazines, and they used to send you stickers. I used to have a fucking massive Tchouaméni sticker on the back of my laptop, mate. It was a Bordeaux one as well. I used to walk to work and I'd be like, who the fuck is that on the back of his laptop? I was like, just you wait. Just you wait until you find out.
Hey, you invested your stocks early.
Oh yeah, there's one tweet. Let me see if I can find this tweet. I had a crazy tweet on him. It was one of my first ever tweets, my first ever post. But I wanted him to come to United, and then he went to the Nations League, and then pictures come out of him and Pogba.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my god! I was like, I was all over.
I can't lie, man. That night when I saw that, I had tissues next to me, fam.
Mate, he was Pogba, man.
I can't lie. Listen, I've got a special segment for Pogba later on, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I found it. So I tweeted. Wow, it was 2 days after my birthday. That's weird. So I tweeted June 22nd, 2021. Aurelien Tchouaméni, please remember the name. He's going right to the very top. And then 2 days later, I tweeted Tchouaméni is the one to watch for next season. Absolutely amazing. Latest midfield prodigy.
What season was that?
So I don't know. He I think that's lockdown season. I think.
Oh wow! Okay, that was
I think lockdown season.
That was before his Monaco breakthrough season. Then Fairs.
Yeah. I think it was early doors. I think it was early doors of that Monaco season. So I think he just moved from Bordeaux, and then the one up from it is a tweet about me talking about Florian Wirtz. So yeah. I used to go out and grab a Scouted Football book, read it, and then whoever sounded the nicest, I'd just go and watch one game. I'd be like, yo, that guy's sick. It was just so easy, man. It's like clockwork.
Bro, I can't lie, yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? That's why I hate about this current Twitter generation, that they base players over stats and pretty much everything.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, bro, the eyes don't lie, man. If you see a player, if he balls out, he's that person.
I remember you tweeted about Nicholas Jackson early. Well, not early, but it was before last season ended.
Beginning of last season. I saw his first two La Liga games. I was like, you know what? This guy, he's him.
I was watching him I did a Chelsea transfer review before the preseason games were played, and I was watching him and I was thinking, my God. I was like, this guy's unbelievable. You can tell he's a winger playing up front, but he's big enough and strong enough to play as a striker. So you can't just get like most wingers, you can move around a bit.
That's what I'm saying. He played his early part of last season. He played on the left-hand side because Gerard Moreno was playing up front. And Unai was playing Gerard as a false nine, but he's good. I'm expecting him next season to score at least 20 goals for Chelsea. That's if Chelsea, of course, don't sign Dusan Vlahovic. Then, of course,
I think I would rather watch him up front for a Chelsea team than Vlahovic. 110%. Mate, he's so exciting to watch.
You guys, if you grabbed him, oh my God.
Oh yeah. Different. I just didn't expect it, man. Because when I went to watch him, the only thing that I actually was like, oh, this is a bit of a weakness, was when he gets through on goal, sometimes he doesn't strike the ball all the way through. But then his first two games for Chelsea, he goes and bags 2 like cold
against
finishes.
Newcastle. Yeah, that goal.
Yeah,
against
I'm like,
Newcastle.
maybe this guy isn't. Maybe this guy's just fucking mint all around. Like, I was quite scared because he just got to run at like just free run at him.
He's quick,
Like
bro.
Chelsea don't miss with like £30 million signings. Like all the fans were telling me this, but like when Chelsea go out and get a player for like a decent fee, they always like blow up for some reason. I don't know why that is, but all the Chelsea fans were like sending me loads
It's
of
the
pictures.
high one.
Of,
It's
like,
the high ones that never works out.
Yeah, that's what it is. But he's good, man. I really like him, like big time.
You mentioned Caicedo, and of course this is going off topic completely outside of United. What do you think he would do for Chelsea next to Enzo?
Yeah. I think he's the one, man. I think he's the one. I think you have to get someone like next to Enzo who does what Florentino Luis used to do for him at Benfica. And I think people didn't really realize this when they first scouted Enzo. But when he went to Benfica, he didn't play the deepest of the midfielders. So like when you get higher up the pitch, you know, he becomes a deep midfielder, but he's really good when he's closer to the box. And I think people didn't really realize this. And then they watched him for Argentina and he was getting goals and assists, and people were like, wow, he's actually like a bit better close to the penalty area. So you want a guy who can take the defensive load off him in behind him, doesn't have to cover as much ground, and then can also do the first phase part of the game like a bit better than him. And Moises Caicedo literally covers like all them tracks. I'm not surprised that they're going to go and spend 100 million quid on him. I'm really not surprised, because I think if the only worries I'd actually have for Chelsea midfield wise, if they were to sign him, and that's including like Nkunku if he plays 10, which is obviously injured now, but I think it's just the height. Yeah, but that's actually it. I don't see a weakness in that.
That midfield.
Like, they can both carry. Yeah, they can both carry. They can both tackle. So,
bro, he was one person that would have been a good replacement for Toni Kroos if once Kroos retired.
Yeah. He's a Galactico him all day.
He's got Galactico. Oh yeah, exactly. It's weird. It's weird because over the past couple of weeks, I've seen Chelsea fans go against him and say, yeah, you know what, he's not worth 100 million. But you know what? That's how I can't lie. That's how Twitter is, man. They switch their energy every single time, man.
Do you remember when United were in for him like 2 years ago, and we got a bid rejected, or we didn't send a bid for like 5 million, and like the journal who reported it to United report was like a Venezuelan fisherman or something like that. And we completely missed out on him, and we only had to pay like
I think that was before his Benfica move, wasn't it?
Oh, now speak about Caicedo.
Oh, Caicedo. Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, it was time ago. Like, I God bless the United scouts, man. They just go out, find a gem. There was like one that come out about Turkey. It was like 5 years ago, and Turkey's only like 18.
Bro, I saw apparently Ole. I saw Ole wanted Diaz from 2000.
Yeah.
2019.
He wanted Haaland. He wanted Haaland and Bellingham when they were at Birmingham and Salzburg or Mulder. So it's like, there's actually no point in being a scout at United. There's actually no point. Just hang your boots up, man.
I can't lie, man. They should hire you, man.
They won't even listen, man. Like, honestly, I just, God bless it. They're earning good money, so it's not like it's a problem. But Jesus Christ, man, they must be so demoralizing to like watch him just go sideways. When, do you know what I mean? Oh, is this really sick player here? He's only going to cost you 5 million. He's going to be a world beast. Nah, we're not doing that.
Let's sign Lindelof instead for 45 45 million, and then
that's the one. Let's sign a defender who hates contact.
You know, speaking of Lindelof, I saw a video today on Twitter. I can't lie. I rewatched it 4, 5, 6 times. Yeah, it was. I'm not sure what channel it was on. It was a YouTube United channel, and it was an old guy, and a lady asked him, "Who?"
Oh, you speaking about Ricky? Oh God,
that's
God
the guy.
That guy, man.
And she asked him, "Who do you want to see as a centre back pairing for next season?" And he said, "I want to see Johnny Evans and Lindelof as a centre back pairing."
Man. No, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it.
Who's
So
your
I'm
centre
actually
back carry for next season?
Oh, it's Martins and Rafa. It's not even close, man. No, it's not even close. Like I actually wouldn't even entertain the conversation with that. But honestly, if that was me, I'd have just been like, right, okay. So when your mates comes out with some really bad take, and you just kind of sit there. It's like, yeah, man, yeah. No.
What do you, what no Lindelof for next season next to Licha or not?
I think Lindelof's decent. I think most of Lindelof's attributes that are decent are on the ball. Like I think he's a pretty good passer, but he's very he's very sideways. Like he doesn't pass the ball forward a lot. Like he's very, very safe. And he's also an absolute he really infuriates me, Lindelof, because I've always said this. And I think he's like one of the only players who gets more rated for less they play. Like United fans, when they don't see him play, he goes up in their estimations.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I think people forget that he can't win a header and he hates contact defending. Mm-hmm. And we've also got a 5'9" centre half to the left of him. So why would you want him? Like he doesn't. Like I appreciate what he does on the ball, and in games where we have a lot of the ball, yeah, he works. But he's on it. He'll get battered in the air off 99% of strikers. Like imagine we've got Wolves. I think we've got Wolves' first game of the season, and their striker Sasa Kalajic is 6'7". If we rock up to Molineux with them two at the back, like it's curtains. And I just think people, honestly, I'll say this: United fans have them players who don't play and they just go, and it's like I don't understand how it happens, but they do. Man. And Lindelof is like one of the main culprits. Like he'll probably go to Barca and do really well because, like, I feel like he's like kind of like Christian sort of player.
You know what? That's a good fit. To be fair, at Barca, that's a good fit for him. Yeah.
That's knowledge. Isn't it?
You know what? I can see him. You know what? I can see him. Next to Arujo.
Can you give us like 40 million quid for him? That'd be nice. He does. To be fair, he does. He has had good moments at United. Like when he first got signed, I thought he was really good. Like I still think he's a really good player. But in this United side, if you're playing him next to a centre half who just doesn't like Leach is very aggressive. He's a pure tackler, obviously. And like people say that he's good in the air. He's not good in the air. He's just not bad in the air for his size. Like you know what I mean. But
let's talk about Leisha for a second. Yeah, let's talk about Leisha. I feel like your fan base overrate him much higher than what he actually is.
I think he's the most. I'd say he's the most modern game player United have got. Like I think he does most of the modern game, like compared to any other United player on the pitch. So like I think when Manchester United fans watch him, it's like revolutionary. Like I've seen Martinez go one against three and just like swivel his hips and get out of it. And then that part of it, like no other defender in the world can do that, but that's because of his size that he's able to do that. Like he's able to be so agile on the ball. But I think if United had a better structure, obviously, like he wouldn't have to do that. But I still think what he does on the ball, I don't see many players do. I'm not gonna lie. Like Saliba, and Araujo, Colwill, like off the top of my head, they're some of like the best ball playing defenders that I watched last year. Like
Militao as well.
Yeah, Militao as well. Yeah, like even them, I've seen Leach do more on the ball than them. Like more stuff. I'm not talking about better stuff. I'm just talking about he can bend the rules a bit more in terms of the stuff he can do. Like for example, you said with like Leach can play in midfield. Like John Stones can play midfield, but I think that's obviously because it's City in it. They can do that. But Leach has the capacity to do these things because of his height. Where when he come in, his height was like a net negative, but now it's almost like a golden ticket to use in certain game situations when we need it. And I think that side of it is like that's it.
When you signed him, I thought it was going to be a next to thing. Your DM. You signed him before you signed Casemiro, and I was like, his height, Maguire's there. I was like, you know what? You could use him as a DM. So I hear you.
I thought it was going to be left centre half, left back coming inside, like Arsenal wanted to do. I thought he was going to be that kind of tuck-in guy because I don't know why, but because of how I don't know if you remember this, but when he come in, Ten Hag, there was a lot of quotes coming out about like BMIs being too high and like he wanted to trim down the squad. Like, so in my head, I was thinking, well, who are some of the main critics or whatever, main people for this? And I was thinking Luke Shaw. So I was like, oh, maybe he's not a fan of Luke Shaw, so he's going to bring him at left back. And then I started thinking about that. Obviously, we thought about the midfield idea because he says he can play in midfield. He doesn't have the engine to play in midfield, which I still don't know if that's true, to be honest. I'd love to see him in midfield, man. I'm not going to lie. Just one time. I just want to see it for one game.
Well, like, next to Casemiro or without Casemiro?
Yeah, with Casemiro, I think it'd be nice, man. But this is the thing: United don't have that set structure anymore. So, like, even if he were to play in midfield, you wouldn't know when he's going to do it next or before that or whatever. So,
speaking of set structure, what's your thoughts of Ten Hag for next season? Like, do you think you have an identity in the sense of how you play, or is it vibes?
We've got more of an identity than we did last year. Going into it, I think, because I'm expecting more because I think you've given him enough money now. Like he's definitely been backed like 110%. Like people were going into this window thinking we've only got £100 million, and then people are coming out of it thinking, oh, but we might need that right back or that right centre half or that second midfielder or do you know what I mean? That extra forward. And it was like before we come into this, we were expecting shite. We were worrying we were going to go in with David De Gea in that, like stuff like that. So he's definitely been backed now. He's definitely had the choice of whoever. He could have abandoned any of them deals to go and get other profiles out there. There were players out there, like 110%. So next season, like this sounds really bad when like you type it, but like I'll try and explain it. I think we'll see less achievements in terms of trophies, but a better team in terms of the play style, in terms of it being consistent. I think United will look better in a lot of games rather than kind of being gritty through games and like keeping it chucking along. Like, for example, getting beat 7-0, getting beat 4-1, stuff like that. I don't think we'll see that at all, really, hopefully, next season. Do you know what I mean? I think we'll see a better team, and I think we'll see a more consistent way of playing rather than a team who resorts to certain styles to get over the line. And we might not win a Carabao Cup because we decide to play out from the back a bit more and we get caught doing that. But over the season, we'll end up with more points, for example, or a better, more sustainable team.
So in that case, so heading into this season, then, are you rate your transfer window from 1 to 10? Onana, Hojlund, and Mason Mount.
Onana, Hojlund. Right now, 7.
Who do you need to make it 10 out of 10?
I think to make it a 10 out of 10, it'd take 2. I don't think it'd take 1.
Who's in your mind?
I don't trust any of the right backs. I don't trust them. I worry about Varane's injury concerns. Like, I'm worried that if he gets injured, we have to go to either Maguire or Lindelof. And both of them have net negatives. And that part of it worries me. But at right back, Wan-Bissaka can't really be comfortable on the ball. And last season, Dalot was pure inconsistent after the World Cup. Like, he was pretty gash towards the second end. So I think it'd take like Amrabat and then like... This is the thing about the right back market. It's so bad. There's no one there. There's one right back from Feyenoord called Gertruda, and he's like the closest thing to like a kind of ball playing right back who can stay a bit deeper or whatever. But even that's kind of far fetched. But that's the type of signing it'd take. Either that or sign a right centre half like Todibo or Diamande for backup, and then shift off Maguire.
On the right. Do you think it's the right back market? The only ones that you can think of that is available, you've got Fresnada, who's always there.
Yeah, he's very good.
You've
Yeah.
got Cancelo. Another one which I think you should keep your eye on for next season. He plays for Girona. That is one to watch for next season. His name is Anel Martinez. Very good.
Yeah.
He started as a centre back, when as a right back. He's that mold of a. I like to call him Aspi, a Pavard, just
Yeah, like a
comparison.
hybrid.
Yeah, a hybrid of those. So yeah. To be fair, 7 out of 10 is not bad. I can't lie, man. Mason Mount, you should have never signed him. That's just my opinion. I feel like next.
Yeah, I think a different midfield signing, in my opinion. I think if that signing was like a Caicedo, or even like a Romeo Lavia, like them two type of players, I think they would have been, in my head, might not be the same in a manager's head, obviously, but in my head, they would have been more stylistic fits to suit the problems that we faced last season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they would have answered them problems clearer than Mason Mount does. Maybe it will long term, because maybe he has a completely different idea. But so far in this preseason, I can still see Newcastle on the edge of our box pressing us. Do you know what I mean? And us not being able to get out. So someone just said there Timber as well, Timber Augusto. I still think Timber would have been like. I still don't know why we didn't follow that up. Doesn't make any sense to me.
It's weird, and it's Ten Hag's form of player. It's weird.
Yeah, but I think the window's good. Like I think striker and keeper were my top two. So I'm really happy about that. And I didn't think we'd get Onana. I thought he was well out of our jurisdiction. I didn't think we would. And then I think Mason Mount. Like, I'm waiting to be set alive. I'm trying to be positive about it.
I don't think speaking. Just going back to Onana. And I said this on STS, the live show with that we did. Yeah, I feel like in 9 to 12 months, I feel like you guys will be screaming his name out. You guys will be signing, screaming. You know what? We need a new goalkeeper. We need no. I feel like you guys are too focused on what he can do on the ball, which I completely understand. You guys have had the dinosaur at the back for the past 2, 3, 4 years. So I get it. But one thing that you guys are going to be missing from David De Gea is his actual goalkeeping. I don't think Onana, when it comes to goalkeeping, is top 5, top 6, top 7, top 8 in the world. And I feel that's going to be your problem. Bear in mind, last season or even the season before, David De Gea, as bad as he was, he still saved in a couple of times, certain times. A save there, last minute save there. But of course, his ball playing was his main problem. This season with Onana, the ball playing is going to be there, absolute highest. But I feel like his goalkeeping is, I feel like that's just for next season. Let's see.
I think what people would say is what he does on across the night would limit the opposition team to less high quality chances. So if David De Gea in net, you're conceding possession more, giving the opposition more chance to create higher quality chances, meaning he has to make them saves. Whereas if you have a keeper who is proactive and does all the stuff in the possession to sustain your possession rather than giving it to the opposition, hopefully that the other team wouldn't have as much shots that we conceded last year. So for example, I don't know how many shots David De Gea conceded last season, but let's say it was 400. If that 400 shots was dumbed down to 200 shots because of how good or proactive your goalkeeper was, then he wouldn't have to make twice as many saves, meaning it would cover his weaknesses. And the thing is, with David De Gea, I agree with the shot stopping element. He was a good shot stopper. I think he's one of the purest we've ever seen. But he's not like a Thibaut Courtois, who's like Thibaut. People think that, like, some Manchester United fans think that David De Gea is like Thibaut Courtois because he's more traditional. But Thibaut Courtois isn't shite with his feet. And he's also one of the best cross-claimers in world football, if not the best. So, like, it's like night and day, these two goalkeepers. David De Gea was good. By the time we got rid of David De Gea, he was good at no attributes of keeping. Like, none. He didn't offer any net positive.
Exactly.
So with Onana coming in, it's like, if he doesn't have to face any more shots and over the course of the 90 minutes, he has to use his ball playing, sweeping, communication, all these things, then he has all of them that David De Gea didn't have. Like I would have rather like if you're gonna have a bad shot stopper in net, I would rather get a player like Gavin Bazunu at Southampton, who was like statistically the worst shot stopper in the league, but he does all the things that David De Gea lacked to do, because he would then provide a net positive throughout the entire season, meaning we would be consistently a better team.
Mm-hmm.
But I do get what you're saying. Some Man United fans will be like that though, like definitely, like 110%.
Was
Like I've already seen
your preferred goalkeeper to get?
he weren't on the market. Like I didn't even think about it. I always thought either David Raya or Costa. I thought either of them two would have been nice. I thought David Raya was more like cheaper, smarter, money value type of guy, but I thought Costa was like kind of like the all around package. But Onana, when he come onto the market, I think it kind of got clouded because obviously Man United fans had just watched the Champions League final, and they were like, "Shit, like this guy." Do you know what I mean? And obviously that is him, but that was one of his best performances of the season. He just had it in the biggest game of the year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's like the flooring that Manchester United fans have seen, and that's what they want. But I do get what you mean, because there are definitely going to be fans out there who basically said, "Oh, fucking pack it in with a sweeper keeper, pack it in," but they don't understand that you don't see it with your eyes visually, but they stop it. They stop certain things from happening because it's all hypothetical. Like if David De Gea boots that ball out for a throw in, and then that team throws the ball in and they start passing around the back and they create a goal off that. Onana wouldn't let that happen because he would complete a pass rather than just smack it out of play.
Yeah.
And it's obviously like it's going well advanced, but you can inevitably stop something from happening.
And I think that was what you've just said.
It was a game he did that. It was a game.
I'm thinking.
I can't remember now, but yeah,
I think that was the game against Brentford, where
he smacked the ball long.
Yeah.
If
my memory stands me correct, I think it was against Brentford where he could have easily just passed it to Varane or passed to Martinez. He kicked it out and then 20 seconds later they scored. Yeah.
And they did it against Leeds one year as well. I think it was lockdown, but this was like the first time that United fans were realising. And we were passing around the back, and he just clips it into open space. A player just receives the ball, passes it, and Luke Ayling scores like a fucking screamer or something. I can't remember if it was Luke Ayling or not. But that was like when most United fans were like, if we had like Ederson, even though he's not as good shot stopper, if we had Ederson there, that chance wouldn't have happened.
Never.
And that's where United fans started to be like, but I don't want to see United that like ultra hyper possession. I don't like that football. Like I don't like it. I don't think it's, in my opinion, I would rather watch football that's a lot more. I want to see my players take risks. I want to see like risk-taking football. I want to see high-traffic football. I want to see a lot of bodies in the box. I don't want to see, like, if a guy's running through, I don't want to see you passing it backwards to hold on to the ball. Like, I want to see, like, you trying to score the goal, you trying to win the game. And that's why I always love Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool. Like, at the peak, man, that team was, like, and that's a beauty of, like, Real Madrid, for example.
During their prime, bro, like it's, you know what, looking back at it, it's just a shame that they had to go up against Pep, and they had to go up against Madrid for two finals.
Nah, man, that team was, and Ten Hag even said it himself. Ten Hag said that Liverpool were the most enjoyable team for watching the league for the past few years in like his first press conference. So it's clear that his blueprint is more like not over possession, because I hate to watch that. Like I covered the first championship game yesterday on Twitter, and it was about Southampton having like 80% possession, and I was talking about it, but I never said that I actually liked it, because I don't like it. I don't want to see that.
They made 900 something passes.
991. Yeah, but like John McKenzie, the guy of Tifo, basically like quote tweeted it saying, but like they put a pass map. And then he just look at how many of them are in the box, and there wasn't any really in the box.
Oh wow!
So it's like how many, they call it territory. Like how much territory do you have with your possession? Like how purposeful is it? And that's like where with Real Madrid, like in the past few years, they get into dangerous territory like all the time with their possession. and that's like the beauty of it. And it's all about getting down there.
It's just Vinny, man. It's just Vinny. No one else.
Yeah, to be fair, it's just Vinny running with the ball or Rodrigo trying to get in the box.
It's just Vinny and Benzema, man. don't give Carlo Ancelotti any props for that, man. It's just Vinny.
Yeah. That's why De Zerbi's so fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
Like De Zerbi, even though he wants the ball, as soon as that ball goes through the midfield, man, he wants players to run, like get after it. And that's always been fun to watch.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. To be fair, De Zerbi is one. Xabi Alonso as well for Liverpool last season.
Yeah. That's not possession based ball. They just went up against West Ham and they play like they don't build out from the back. They knock the ball long, but they do it in a way that's like sustainable.
That's what I'm saying.
Like wing backs high, pacing behind. Like, yeah, he's a good coach, man. People thought he was dead like possessional based because he's Spanish midfielder. Blah blah.
It's different,
but, man.
Yeah,
I love guys who go against the cloth, man. Like,
bro, he's the manager that I would love to replace Carlo Ancelotti with next season. But
yeah.
But let's see, man. What's your? Let's just round it up. We spoke about all the different type of players. That's one player that everyone in the chat would want you to talk about, and that is the person that got injured against us. Quite unfortunate.
Oh, come in, man.
Chat to me. What do you see in him?
What a guy, man. Honestly, this guy is like. I'd probably say he's a better talent in terms of his ceiling than Garnacho, and that's nuts because I think Garnacho is like going well high, but Kobbie Mainoo, mate, like watching this guy in the under 21s, he takes the piss. Like it's not even funny. And the worst part about it all was he played number 6 for United in pre-season, and number 6 isn't even his position. Like he doesn't play that deep. He gets forward and like he's a bit more of a dribbler, creator, passer, but he's that type of midfielder. Like when we was talking before about them Caicedos, the Lavias, the De Jong, stuff like that, he's that type of midfielder, and that type of midfielder just will not fail. There's absolutely no chance they fail when you've got that much. When you've got that much giftedness and technical ability on the ball, that blend, you can literally do whatever you want to do on the ball. It doesn't matter what happens around you. And when you have that, Modric has that. Modric can do anything he wants on the ball when he wants to because he's just that secure on the ball. And Kobbie Mainoo has that now. And Ten Hag obviously absolutely loves him. Like his treatment of him at Man United, like after he won the Carabao Cup, he went up to him and like give him an individual speech and was like, "We want you to win these trophies. We want you to be here." Like this guy is unbelievable, man. Like one of the best academy products we've had in so many years. And that's United fans have just been waiting. Yeah, mate, he's different graver. Honestly, he's different graver. Like we were speaking. We had like a group chat of all the United accounts. We were speaking about him for so long, and we were just waiting for him to get through. Like United fans were just knocking on the door, being like, "Get him some minutes at the end of this season. Like, just get him in some way or another." And then we seen him in pre-season, and wow, we should have got more last year. Like definitely. Like he's gonna be ready for it this year, and that's like it's gonna be so good to watch him because yeah, I don't think he's a 6 though. I don't want to see him as a 6 though. Like
he needs to.
Yeah, he does. He can't. I'm not gonna say he can't do it because he can do it because he has been doing it. But like to get the most out of him, like get bodies around him, not let him be the deepest of the midfielders. Let him actually get forward and not be too much of a isolated body in there, because when you're on your own in midfield, it gets lonely, man. Like when you've got two advanced states, man, you have to make all the possession work with you. Yeah. So get him some freedom, especially at a young age. Let him stretch his legs a bit, and yeah, man, he's so good, man. I'm so happy he come out like this preseason because wow.
And a shame.
We wanted it.
How serious is the injury?
It's like 2 months, I think.
Okay. So
I don't remember. Nah, there was. I think I'm either getting him mixed up with Ahmad, but I think it's only 2 months. I could be wrong, but luckily 2 months is where the cup competitions start kicking him. So little cup minutes there, and then bang at it again.
Let's see, man. So chat to me. We've pretty much spoken about everyone now. What's your prediction, expectation for United for next season? You guys finished top 4 last season. You won Carabao, got to the final, decent first season under Ten Hag. Second season, you've got Champions League football as well. I don't think your team have got that depth, to be completely honest. So it'll be quite interesting to see what Ten Hag's going to do. But what's your prediction for this season?
I don't think we're better than the top 2 yet. I still don't think we're better than Arsenal or City. I think we've got more of a chance of closing the gap on Arsenal than we do on City. But I just don't. There's something about Arsenal's project that just seems like it's just coming together all at once. And it's like I tweeted this, but like Mikel Arteta could genuinely sign anyone, and I feel like the fans and analysts and stuff would be like, "Oh, this is such a good signing!" Like, and it almost feels like it's inevitably going to work. And City, for the most part,
even with Kai Havertz as well,
mate. I don't even know what's going on over there. They've looked weird in pre-season as well. They've been trying loads of different systems, loads of different shapes, and so I don't know what they're going to do next year. But the only bet that we have is that Arsenal drop off more because of the UCL, because of they'll be going for the title. They have to go for the title. That's the only step up they can make. So the only hope is that they can drop off and then we just nip in. So I think aspirational would be second. There's just no way. There's no way we're going to win the league like next year. There's just no way. Like I would believe me, I would do anything, anything to see a league title. Honestly, it's been a decade. I would do anything, but it's just not going to happen. And I'd love to sit here and say, yeah, we're definitely going to get at it, but we're not.
So maybe what would you consider a good season for you?
A good season. If we finish third, I want a trophy. But I want not the Carabao Cup, one of the others.
So
either an FA Cup, Champions League, or a Prem. So
Champions League, yeah.
Not the champion. We're not the FA Cup. I'll say it there. Hey, to be fair, transitional teams do well in UCL, so it might be all right. Someone said shame in my head if we win the UCL. Believe me, I'll do worse than that. It's been 15 years. My God. It's actually disgusting how we've only won 3 Champions Leagues, man.
How old were you when you won the Champions League in 2008?
7.
Oh wow!
No, it would have been either 6 or 7.
So, but at that point, you never understood what football was. I'm guessing.
Nah, I actually remember losing the 2011 final. I actually remember it because I think my brother's 5 years older than me, so he would have literally he was fuming at the time, and I remember him being absolutely livid, and me being like, I need to get into this football. I was like,
yeah.
So much passion here, and then it's just been downwards for 10 years, man.
Hey, you chose the wrong generation, bro. You chose the wrong generation.
I know. It's funny because my brother and my dad is like, whenever I'm like, I just want us to be good again. There's like, oh, we've had 13 league titles, 13 Prem titles. Like, grow up a little bit. I was like, yeah, but I've not seen one properly though. You don't understand what I'm saying. Like, I went nuts for the Carabao.
You're starving. You're starving,
mate. I'm starving. Where's that Bangkok trophy from pre-season, man? Honestly.
Hey, listen. Let's go through some quick hitters. I've got five quick hitters to throw at you. You can of course think about them, whatever it is. It's easy questions. The first one is United. United. Sorry, 1 second. I forgot what the question was. I was gonna get off the dome. I was like, what? What was the question? 1 second.
Trying to freestyle.
Yeah, I was trying to freestyle for a second. Cool. So the question is: United 2008 or City last season? 2007, 2008 or City last season?
Yeah, probably City last season. Yeah,
Ooh.
I think so. Yeah, but they won the treble, didn't they?
Take away.
Oh, you mean player for player?
teams, just based on teams, not based on the season, the trophies, or whatever it is.
Oh, United then.
United.
Player for player, that United team's better. 110%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And I tell you what, like I think that I probably overrate them City teams so much, but I still think player for player that 08 teams probably trumps it. Yeah.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
That Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eden Hazard or Mo Salah?
Eden Hazard or Mo Salah?
Mm-hmm.
Mo Salah.
Interesting.
Definitely.
Just expand that one. Expand why.
Like we were saying before, like Mo Salah doing what Mo Salah's done in the Prem, like that's unheard of for any player. Like I don't know what's he got. He's already broke 100 goals, hasn't
he? He already has.
Yeah, he smashed, like, mate, he's always in the golden boot race. I don't think he's dropped below like 21 goals or whatever.
He's only had one season where he scored under 20.
Yeah, that's nuts. I cannot disregard that. And his assist numbers are always high. Like
he's only had one season where he didn't have a 10 assist season.
Yeah. Yeah, he's nuts. Mate, I can watch videos of Eden Hazard dribbling all day. That's not winning the Champions Leagues and that.
Even to be fair, you know what? Mo Salah on the ball is very underrated. To be fair,
yeah, he is. I think people disregard what Mo Salah does because they call him an inside forward and a goal scorer. But his starting position's always as wide as possible. It's always as wide as possible. He just comes in. He's just that good when he comes in.
That's like, exactly.
I think there's always two things about players. There's always like an idea of a player, and there's always like an actual like the effectiveness of a player. And I think there should probably be like a 11 versus 11 where it's like players who are good ideas, players who are just effective. And for me, like Mohamed Salah is one of the most effective players I've seen in the Prem, like 110%. I fear him when we play Liverpool. I'm shitting myself for Mo Salah. I never really got that for Eden Hazard. I never really did.
Okay.
I don't know. He scored a few goals against us, but I never feared him like Salah.
Salah got you shaking.
Oh yeah, 110%. He scored so many goals against United. Bro, so many goals.
The first player at that point to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah,
in the Premier League.
I forgot. I wasn't even counting that game. All I was thinking about was the games at Anfield. So I'm not even thought about that game.
Another one is what's the third one? Third one is who, in your opinion, is the most underrated over the last 10 years since you've watched United, the most underrated United player?
Ooh. That's actually a mad question. Wow. I've never thought about that. Like ever. Because I don't underrate players. Like if I know they're good, like I just start the fucking mint. Shit. That's pretty hard, man. That's actually really hard.
Bro, I've got you thinking. Hey, I've done my job. Hey, I finished.
Yeah. Like people are saying Carrick, but I would agree that Carrick's underrated, but like not for the 3 years. Like in the past 10 years, he wasn't the 3 years leading up to retirement. He was good, but he wasn't like underrated at that point. Like he was underrated for like when he was 08 kind of like thing. The first one that clicked in my head was Valencia.
Okay.
Because I think when Valencia played right back, he is the most one-footed player I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Ever seen. Like he used to do this thing when he'd go to cross the ball where he'd pretend to take it on his left foot, but he wouldn't like lift his left foot up to cross it. So it was weird, man. Like I don't understand it. But Yeah, I think he was like he was one of the best players to watch at United because he was like nuts physically, and he used to just get to the last line and put a ball in. He used to just go box to box and put a ball in. That used to be him. And then I remember like that goal he scored against Everton, which was a cracker, like absolute thunder cracker. He captained the club. He only ever spoke good words. He always comes and visits United. Don't speak a word of English, by the way, but
He wore the number 7 as well.
Yeah, Jesus. I think it's hard. That 10-year period is hard. Like, I think so. Because if you were to say like 13-year, like where it went back to like 2010, I would probably say Giggs. I think Giggs has always been underrated. I just think people look at the assist numbers. Oh, not the assist numbers, because obviously he's top of it, but he looks like he's GA per game.
It's not
but they don't realise what he actually did throughout the entire game and how different the players, played in different positions and stuff like that.
I rewatched. Speaking of Giggs, I rewatched during the off season because I was doing some content. I rewatched the second leg Madrid United at Old Trafford.
Yeah,
Giggs had a
master. Oh yeah, he tore it up. Yeah, he tore it up, mate. He was so good.
And at that point, he was 38 years old.
Yeah, he's so good. Like, if he would have, and that's another player. He scored goals on his right foot, but that's another player who was just pure 1 foot. Like, didn't really like his right foot at all. But when he dribbled, fucking hell, man, you could not tell you where he's going. But he was like the epitome of a true winger. Like, I really liked Giggs when I was growing up. Like, genuinely, really liked Giggs watching him. Yeah.
But Valencia's a good one, to be fair. So I kind of hear it.
Yeah.
Who would the fourth one is? Who would in your current Man United team? Who would you pick from the person who's played in your before and put him in that current team right now?
Ooh, I thought you was going to say the other way around. So I thought you was going to say who would you pick to play in a past United team? Because that would have been Bruno, like 100 million %. But yeah, bring a player to play. Probably Scholes or Carrick.
Oh, next to Casemiro. Okay.
Yeah, either that or Ruud van Nistelrooy or RVP.
Up front.
Mate, there's so many. I could, mate, honestly.
What about young CR7 on the right hand side?
Mate, that's because I just thought about the right wing, and then I was like, yeah, there's so many. I'd bring Raphael back at this point. I'd bring them all back.
Hey,
honestly.
Fabio as well, his twin.
Yeah, honest, mate, bring them both. We need all the bodies we can get. Now, any right winger like George Best, young CR7. I bring Tevez back. Ruud van Nistelrooy, RVP. Yeah. Bex, yeah.
First.
Scholes. Giggs.
And you know what? And let's finish it off. The last one is bro. I've honestly, man, listen, I've watched this sport for 20 years, which is a long time. And I've never, ever, and it's crazy. I don't support United. To be fair, I don't like United. But there's something about certain players in your team, and there's something about this guy. Bro, when I watch him, it brings a smile to my face. I feel like when it comes to ability, there's no one else that's been so fucking good on the ball. Like, and I was the person a couple of years ago when I said on his day. I was the first person that said it. Yeah. And bro, on his day, there is no one better than Paul Pogba. And I feel like it wasn't meant to be, man. It wasn't meant to be. But as a United fan, listen, I've asked that question to someone who supports PSG, to someone who supports Chelsea, different fan base. But as a United fan, what's your thoughts of Paul Pogba?
Well, but before I actually talk on Paul Pogba, that shirt that you've got in the background, I used to have an Illuminous green Juve away kit from his first stint at Juve with Pogba 6 on the back, and I used to have it framed in my house. Like literally, I have a room downstairs. It's got loads of frame shirts on it, and he used to be one. So I'm like, I still do love Pogba. Like, I always feel really bad for him, like, because I think I think it was always 50. I think it was always 50-50 between him and the club. But then I also
Yes.
think the club, the 50% of the club was 25% of the fans. And I absolutely, do you know that one video at the end of the season where that fans like heckling abuse at him?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
awful, man. That is like disgusting. Like, man, he's took the time to come chill with the fans after a bad season. He's answering questions openly. I think he's giving his shirt to someone in the crowd, and it's
And then
like,
yeah.
what he can't do any right. It felt like, and it didn't matter like if he was playing good, because there would always be the question of, but how long could he keep it going for? So there was always praying for him to slip up, and as soon as he did, boom, like it come crashing down. And I always thought that positionally he was never used right. The only manager who used him right positionally in his entire United stint was Solskjaer in the first year, and then we ended up signing Bruno, which just reverted the whole situation.
Literally.
So like in terms of like, and then obviously the Juve stuff now, he's gone to Juventus and it's injuries, fitness.
The brother situation, it's crazy.
That's all it is, man. And it's a domino effect. Like, and for people to say that, oh, he didn't love Manchester United or whatever. The guy clearly loved Manchester United. Like, he was chomping at the bit to come to Manchester United. Like, he left the club, went to Juve, and then come back. Like, he wouldn't have done that if he didn't like. You know what I mean? And then I just feel like if it was, I don't want to pull it out, but if it was just like, if it was another person, it just would be viewed differently. Like, it just would be. I don't know what it is.
100%. And I feel like the British media had something against him from the first minute he came to United, and since he left. It was always something about Paul Pogba, whether that's the haircuts, whether that's the antics, whether that's the celebrations. He always had, I think, I forgot what season it was. I think it was 18-19, 19-20, where he had 3 different celebrations with Bailly and with Lingard and with Tony Martial. It's just different celebration. It was always against Pogba. But I said it last time. It was, I think I said in a video that I made on TikTok. I said he's the player the Premier League needed, but at the wrong time, and he's the player that United needed. But you guys didn't compliment. You guys did not compliment him the way he should have been.
Yeah. I don't think that I didn't think Mourinho was a bad manager, like when he come to Manchester United. But I think one of the worst things he did at Manchester United was try and cram him in a pivot. Because if he would have come in at Manchester United and stuck him straight in at number 10 with 2 sitters behind him, it would have set the foundation for him being Manchester United's number 10. I think as soon as they give him a number 6 shirt, and like I hate this idea of just 6'4", big legs, physical, stick him in defensive midfield. Like I hate it. Like,
and what pisses me off more, bro? What pisses me off more? You looked at him at Juve, 2 great seasons. He played advanced, where Pirlo, Vidal, and Marquisio was behind him. How can Jose or United look at it and say, you know what? Let's. This
just shows you how bad this club is, though. We've done that so many times. We've done it so many times. We played Matter off the right when he was one of the best number 10s in the world. We've done this so many times, and it's not even like funny anymore because we do it all the time. And like we do it with the little players as well. Players who we sign and you think, oh, just slot him in midfield, just slot him in up front, whatever. And then we just use them wrong. And then it all comes, and they always like, oh, look at this Manchester United now. None of the players are working. Yeah, because Manchester United don't work as a club to suit the players. They just get it all wrong all the time. Like we're the worst club for profiling players, 110%. Like it could well turn out to be a good signing, but Mason Mount is also potentially going to fall into that bracket. Like, so the questions are still there. And nah, man, I just think props to Ollie for doing what he did with Pogba and using him in front of Herrera and Matic. But then his ideas clearly weren't aligned with the board because they must have thought he was leaving after that season, hence why they signed Bruno. But then he ended up staying, and then it got all jammed up.
That was the season where he was rumoured to go either Madrid or City, I remember.
Yeah. Because obviously, but if the club had a better understanding of what was going on throughout the entire club, then we would have known to either keep Pogba. We would have sat down Pogba and gone, you can stay here if you want, but if you're not staying here, we're just going to go and sign someone else. And then the fact that we butchered that whole thing up, and now he had an imbalanced midfield. We tried playing him off the left, which he was still good at. Like, and then I hated it, man. And I hated seeing the demise of it, because when he come back, like I said to you before, that was like when my peak for like football just got started, like proper invested, and then the Stormzy video come out, and then my God, man. I just
the celebration, the dab as well.
Yeah. And he was loved, like, for the don't get me wrong, like he was slated in the end by majority United fans, but in that first season at United, he was loved to pieces by United fans. Like, in Manchester, Jesus Christ, everyone loved Pogba, and then something just disconnected somewhere.
It's a shame, man. Like honestly, I think about it every single time. Like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we will look at Pogba as a streets don't forget, like as someone, as a what if player. And
this is the thing as well. It's like he's a what if player, but the what if is like we've seen it. Do you know what I mean? Like with a what if player, it's usually like a player who produced it like one or twice throughout their entire career, or like just a season. We've seen like multiple campaigns from Pogba, but if you just looked at each season individually and you just looked at where's the problems, 75% of the problems are simply just misusage everywhere. Like just pure misusage everywhere. No, there's no doubt that he could have handled stuff better, but it's just definitely misusage. And believe me, if I signed for a club and I was one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, and they slammed me in a pivot because I was 6'4", I'd lose my shit as well.
Bro, and then is another percentage of the injuries, the percentage of the media, the everything. Oh my goodness!
And the injuries started to like tally up in that last season at United. Yeah. And then do you remember he got subbed off for United, and then he was walking over to his bench, and they were either booing him or they were chanting something at him. I can't remember what it was, and he was walking over to the bench and he was going like that. And he was like, he could hear it. Like, how grim that must feel. You've left your boyhood club, you've come back, you're trying to do. I just don't. It doesn't sit right with me. I'd never do that to a player. Full stop. Like you can do what you want in it if you buy your ticket, but I wouldn't do that. Like, I just wouldn't. It's just weird to me.
Oh man, bro. In terms of just ability, man. In terms of just as a player, I swear to God, yeah. I've watched. I only caught 3-4 years of Zidane. I've watched Luka Modric. The moment he came to Madrid, I caught him a bit of Spurs, but every single game I've watched of Luka Modric, I've watched every single game of Xavi and Iniesta since 2008, 2007. But Pogba, bro, he belonged with them, with those people.
Yeah,
he honestly
it's
did.
crazy. I've never seen a player so much like another player. Like, he is the carbon copy of Zidane. It's not even funny. Literally. Like, everything is the same. Like, they even roll the studs on the ball every touch they get. They either ball roll it with the studs, or they do the Maradona with the studs. They drag the ball with the studs. They glide with the ball the same when they carry it, like proper long stride. And it's like it doesn't make any sense. Like, and obviously his idol growing up was Zidane. Like, he said this numerous amount of times, and it's just like, mate, imagine me growing up and my idol being Ronaldo. So I just go, just going to start running at 900 miles an hour down the wing and doing step-overs and chops. Like, it's nuts. Like, he's based his whole, like, game model. Even his positioning is the exact same. Like, everything's the same. Bro, it just doesn't make. And it's even weirder because, like, Zidane played his best football for France, and so does Pogba. Yeah. And it's just like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, literally. All he needs, I swear to God, all he needs is another. I still have faith. 2026 under Zinedine Zidane as a manager with a three-man midfield of Cameron, Wenger, Tchouaméni, and Pogba. I still believe that France can do it. And when they do, Paul Pogba will finish as a 2-time World Cup champion, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's
I respect the people who just go out there and be like, I'm just gonna back Pogba until I don't really care. Like,
bro, I'm backing Pogba till he dies, bro. God forbid.
Yeah. I hope one day, like, I know he released that documentary, but I hope one day after retirement he just speaks unfiltered about some of the shite things he's seen in footy, because I think he's seen some proper bad, like, just like shady stuff up and down in football. Like
And
110.
you know
Like,
what?
I wouldn't be surprised.
And you know what? That's someone tweeted a couple months ago. A couple months ago, he tweeted, "What's one player that you would love to meet?" Bro, I've had the chance. Alhamdulillah, fortunately, I met R9 at World Cup. I met Wenger. I met so many people at the World Cup. Yeah, but bro, I would love just to sit down with Paul Pogba and just have a chat with him. Talk about everything that happened to him at United. Talk about his Juve days. Everything. I just wanted to. Oh man, that
I'd
would
love
be.
to
You know
talk to him
what?
about. Do you remember when he dyed his hair blue and then scored 2 on City and then we won it 3-2 after being 2-0 down? I would love to sit there.
That was the game where City could have won the league.
Yeah, and I just want to sit him down for a second and go like, I know you're showing up in that, but like, what happens if he didn't there? Like, you know, we didn't even find. Did we even find out in the end why it was blue?
Got no idea.
Like,
it never came
he just
out.
decided to turn up in the second half and just score 2. Mate, he's a nuts guy, but I gotta love it, man. Like, and I think with United as well, like we used to see so many videos come out United's training ground. And like this has been the case for a while now, but under Mourinho and like early Solskjaer, we had a lot of like videos come out where it was like players pissing around in the dressing room and like there was just vibes all the time, and Pogba used to be there. And Tuan Zabe used to be like the main culprit for putting it on his story. And now we've not seen a picture or a video in the change room for like 4 years. Like we like don't even get a glimpse anymore because they just don't trust them. But like I remember some of the fucking videos that used to come out, man. It was like when Rashford and Lingard were first coming through, and it was Pogba, Tuan Zabe, Eric Bailly. There's last time when he was like in the early stages, and it was like the fucking weirdest group of people ever, but they were just so funny. And it's like even when you got battered on the weekend, it just wouldn't matter. Like you were just like, oh, it's different gravy,
hey,
man.
Man. Paul Bill Pogba, man. What a story. What a story. But yeah, man, listen, Broski, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Before I end it, I'm just going to go to a quick Q&A. I'm going to give everyone here a chance to ask any questions you have. It has to be a super chat though, because I'm gonna get fucking 30, 40, 50 messages. So if you want to ask a question, just send in a super chat and I'm gonna read it out. But yeah, man. In the meantime, whilst I wait for the questions, Broski, love for coming on, man.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. It was fun, man.
No, bro. We said that this is gonna be an hour. It turned out to be close to 2 hours, man.
I know. I literally ran out of water like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, when we started the quick fire questions, my voice was like shaking, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I was like, nah, man, I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Nah, man, 100%. In the meantime, whilst I wait, do you want to promote anything? Is there something that you want to take the stage? If you want to promote anything that you have, your page, your accounts, your work, wherever it is.
Yeah, man, just drop me a follow on HOM UFC on TikTok or Twitter. I do tactical analysis weekly, and obviously occasionally every single day when I'm just casually watching football from home. Yeah, but I'm not like a proper tactical. I do have emotions, so do you know what I mean? I'm not a computer, hence why I'm on this. But yeah, man, I love you in the game tactically, but I really appreciate you getting me on. I want to do more stuff like this. It's really nice to get out there. So
you should, bro. Honestly, you should. The thing is, I see you as there is on Twitter. Yeah, there is the fake tacticos, and that's the real. There's a lot of fake. Yeah. There's a lot of accounts on Twitter that pretends that they're tacticals. For me on Twitter, I just go there for vibes. I tweet what I want to tweet. Yeah. I say. But the ones that I actually watch their videos and their content, it's you or me and a couple of others that I see, you know what? When they tweet something, there's a meaning behind it. Other people just tweet something for the sake of tweeting. One of them is, what's his name? That fucking account. That Arsenal account.
No new thing.
Oh my goodness, man. Bro, I follow him just to make me laugh. There's stuff that he says.
I always said this when I did live streams on TikTok and stuff. I always said that I never want to be boring. Like I hate the idea of just being like that arrogant to people. I just don't know why. Like I don't know what people gain out of it. Like it's Twitter and TikTok that I'm on. I just view football, and I have two different views of football. I'm either tweeting in all caps because I'm fuming at United, or I'm analysing the game tactically. But I have a very split thing where I can get away from the tactical side of things. So I don't like to think I'm a robot. But now, man, just be a nice guy to people on Twitter. Like, if you don't agree with their opinion, that's what it's all about. Don't fucking say, your eyes aren't as good as mine.
The stuff he says is crazy, man. But let's see. There's a couple of questions. The first question is: someone said, "Where do you think United will finish the season?"
Probably where I would put them if I was to bet money on it, I'd probably put them third. I do think we could go second. I really do, because I think we're definitely going to close the gap in some way, shape, or form. And I think if you look at the gap towards the end of last season, we can definitely close that. But they're both going to get stronger. But I would still say third. I think we're still too far adrift from the top two. Right now anyway.
And someone's thoughts on Ahmad.
Oh, yeah, tough one. He got a 4-month injury, so it's hard. But he's very interesting because I think he's a very similar profile to like a Sancho, but he's got a little bit more intent when he does come inside. He actually likes to run with the ball, passing behind, stuff like that. But I think I still want to see one more loan. I don't think physically he's up to it yet. I think another loan in the Championship, maybe back under Tony Mowbray at Sunderland, would be nice because he's a terrific man manager and he did wonders for him last season. So I still think he needs another loan, but I think he's a good player, man. I just don't think he's ahead of Garnacho, especially not Garnacho.
Do you think he can maybe not go back, but maybe go to Middlesbrough on the Carrick?
Yeah. I think another Championship loan would do good. I think Championship's a really good feeder to get in there because you get the physicality and you also get the idea that games are more open, but tactically it's still very advanced. So I think he gets the best of both worlds down there. But yeah, I worry for him with a 4-month injury. I really do because it's obviously going to stop him getting a move now. And then what do you do when you come back? But it's a tough one for me now. I had high thoughts, but yeah, it's tough at the moment.
This brother Ollie Salter said, "How would you set up your team if you were given this current group of United players?"
Oh wow, shit.
That's a tactical. That's a tactical. We're coming now.
That's a proper tactical. I'd probably go. Right. Okay. I'd do 4-2-3-1. I'd do Onana. I'd do Onana, Dalot, Varane, Leacher, Luke Shaw, and then if everyone was available, this is how I personally view football. Right. If everyone was available, I think Casemiro and Mainu in a 2 in a double 6, and then off the right I'd probably either go. I'll go Anthony, and then Bruno down the middle, and then I'd go Rashford off the left and Hojlund up front. Because I think in attacking phases, you can still let Rashford be a left-sided forward. Can let Luke Shaw hold the width as a left winger. Hojlund down the middle, Bruno Fernandes right half space, Anthony on the touchline as a right winger. And then behind that, you've still got Kobe Mainu and Casemiro as 2 6s. And then behind them, you've got Leacher, Varane, and Dalot, who are all comfortably like first phase, second phase players. So I think that's like the easiest in terms of like attacking and defensive structure. I think that's like the way I'd see it anyway. I think there's too much imbalance when you're fielding Mason Mount like that. I just don't see it being smooth at all. I think Kobe brings that kind of blend.
You know what? That's actually very high praise for an 8. How old is he? 18, 17?
I think he's 18. Yeah. He's from
18.
Stockport. I only found out the other day. I thought he was foreign. He plays like a foreign player, but he's
Yeah,
from Stockport.
He does.
Yeah.
Of course, he got injured very, very early in that Madrid game. But I watched a camp of him the game before that, where he did quite well. I forgot you guys who you played before Madrid.
I think it was Arsenal.
Yeah.
Against
Arsenal.
Really well against
exactly.
Yeah.
Someone here asked, who is your top 3 dribblers right now?
Ooh. Well, Vinny's definitely in the top 3. He might probably is top 1. Maybe. Shit. Gets you thinking when there's so many dribblers. Like,
would you still put? Yes, they're getting older.
Neymar's still in there for me. I think he always has to be.
Him. And would you put Messi in there as well, or is that?
Maybe. I think there's loads. I mean, like
there's
loads of like third. Yeah, like Bernardo. I think Ousmane Dembele's up there. Kvara's up there. Even Jeremy Doku's up there. He's like one of the best dribblers in Europe. He's got like the most successful take-ons in Europe, man. The guy's ridiculous, but like
and he's quick as well.
I think Kvara probably scrapes. I think Kvara scrapes it, but I think wingers who can go both ways are like the most valuable asset in terms of a dribbler. But like all the top wingers can go both ways, like all of them. So it's hard.
If you could, this is just a question that came to my head. Who would you, if you could pick one Madrid midfielder right in a second, who would you take for your team?
For my team?
Yeah. Out of all the 7, 8 that we have.
Modric.
And you can't say Dani Ceballos because I know he's the main man.
I'd probably take Modric. For this team, I'd take Modric, I think.
Casemiro, Modric, and Bruno.
I think if we didn't have Casemiro, I'd take Tchouaméni. But then with Casemiro, I think Tchouaméni and Casemiro is too static. Like it's too bulky. I want a kind of fluid guy in there. I think Modric. I love Modric, man.
Where do you have him in your all-time list, if you have any?
I have him second in Iniesta, Xavi, and Modric.
Ooh, who's above him? Iniesta.
Iniesta, yeah. So I have Iniesta, Modric, Xavi, yeah.
No Zizou.
But I think he could eclipse it though. I really do, because he's still got energy in the lungs. Zizou's hard for me. Yeah, one more year. I think Zizou's hard for me, because I've tried watching as much as I can, but I just cannot. Like with Modric, I've watched like copious amounts of games. Like same with Iniesta and Xavi, but he's definitely up there. But
yeah, I see what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? I don't like doing that with players because people do that with like Pele and Maradona, and I just like when I speak about like all time players, like I only put players in my all time list who I have recollection of. So like I don't like theoretically put Maradona and Pele in there, even though I know they're obviously that good. I don't want to say that because it's not my opinion because I've not seen them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I see.
But Zizou's hard because I have watched a lot of Zizou and I love him. Hence I love Pogba. But yeah, it's hard for me, that one. No,
I hear that. A couple, just let's say 2 or 3 more. This is quite interesting. Do you think we can win the Prem? I think he made all UCL with Bruno as a captain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's probably overstated how much a captain does. I think we've got a lot of characters. I think this is something that Ten Hag's obviously tried to do, but like our back line's very vocal now. Like Rafa, Leacher, and Onana are very, very like talkative players. I know Dalot is as well. Casemiro are just in front of them. A lot of talkers in the first and second line of players. I always think that like he says he means both.
I mean both. In that case, you know what? Stop it. Stop it. Let's not ask him then. He's never winning both of them. Let's just stop it now.
Yeah. United have only done that twice, to be fair. So.
And that's never going to happen again. Let's just end it here.
Not in my lifetime. Not in my lifetime.
Second last question. Favorite goal that's been scored against United.
Oh shit!
The
Wow.
first one that comes to mind is Robin.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned before, wasn't it? The near post. Oh,
Yeah,
no, it's not a near post.
the volley.
Yeah, where he runs off with his arms open. Yeah, in that black kit.
Wow. Another one. I can't lie. You know what? You know what's an underrated goal? Ronaldo's header against you. Because they leap. The way he did it was quite good. But yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to think like. Shit, man.
Oh, Payet's free kick.
Oh yeah, Payet's free kick at OT was good.
Someone said
I always think of Benteke's overhead kick for some reason. Do you know, like, I don't know why. When Martial scored that goal.
The goal before that. Yeah.
Benteke scored like a consolation bicycle kick. It's one of the best bicycle kicks I've ever seen. He just walks off. It's nuts, that goal. Yeah, that goal's probably up there. But like, it's weird because Martin Tyler just doesn't say anything.
Mate, he said absolutely nothing, and then a couple minutes later, when Martial scored, he starts screaming and
someone said that. Someone said the Ronaldo Juve volley.
The Bonucci's pass. Yeah.
That was like Pete where he took his shirt off. That's do that again. Swear to God, mate, I was filled with rage.
Cool. Let's end it with. I think I saw a good question earlier. Let's end it with. Oh, I said. I'm sure I saw a good one just now.
Oh, Elise's free kick. Someone put, yeah. Do you remember Jan Valery for Southampton? He scored that absolute screamer at the near post. Shock horror, David De Gea getting beat at his near post, but yeah, mate, it's like his first game for Southampton. He just screamed it in like 40 yards out. I remember watching it on like a dodgy stream at 3:00 and thinking, "What am I doing here, man?"
I'm not sure where it went, but you know what? I think I remember I remember something about it. Who's your? I think someone asked. Anyway, let me just ask you: who's your 3 favorite players, non-Man United players?
Oh, non-Man United. Does that mean they haven't played for the club at all?
At all.
Right. Zizou's definitely in there. I would say. I think Leo Messi's obviously in there. I don't know how I can like Leo Messi so much. Like, I actually don't. Like, only Madrid fans can hate him more than United fans, like, just through what they've done to the club, and I just still like weird. But
bro,
I
think he's not okay. I'm not going to disrespect Ronaldo. For me, I think he's the GOAT. And I said it a couple of years ago. And the Madrid fans were saying, "You're a fake Madrid fan. How can you say that?" I was like, bro, just watch the game and you understand why he's the GOAT. Like,
I had to clarify on Twitter because I kept getting a question on Twitter. And I said to people, I was like, I do think Lionel Messi is like the greatest player of all time, but it doesn't put it in my mind that I view Ronaldo as a less of a player. Like, I just think what Lionel Messi's done is just like more impressive. Like, I just do. But yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. I'd probably say
people, whilst you think about it, I was you know what, I was a Twitter one of those Twitter kids that Pessi he's that.
I used to be like that.
But the game that changed my mind was the game, I still remember it, 16-17, last minute, Sergio Roberto going through that midfield. I still don't understand till this day why Marcelo just didn't just drag him down, passes it to Alba.
He's had too many moments like that, man. He's had like me.
It pisses me off why he just didn't just drag him down. And then Messi last minute, he takes his shirt off and does that. Yeah. When he scored, I was like, you know what? I can't deny it no more. He's the GOAT.
Yeah. I think the top three. I'd probably take Zidane out, and then I'd probably go Messi, R9. Because I think R9 was one of them players that like I don't know what it was like when you were growing up as a kid. Like everyone just wanted to be R9. It was a bit weird. Like the way he strikes a ball is like the purest I've ever seen. Like it's ridiculous. But then obviously like injuries come in, and then I feel like you kind of just forgot like about him when you were growing up, and then when you got older, you were like, oh my god, that guy was fucking incredible. Like, oh my god. But I think third best or third favorite. I do love Kaka, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
that goal against you guys in the Champions League.
Yeah,
where everyone lines bumped against each other.
Yeah. I was trying to think about them like the most aesthetically pleasing like profile for me to watch in football is like lanky players who can dribble really well. So like Yaya Toure, Pogba, like Kaka's not that tall, but he's still lanky. Like Ibra did it well. Yeah. You're a demon for that, man. Nah, but them type of players are like they're phenomenal to watch. Like Henry, someone just put like that type of player. Like
it's good.
There's something different. Yeah, there's just something different about that type of player. Like Sturridge used to do that. Sturridge used to like he was a big guy and his feet used to move like. Whew. Yeah, he was good, man. But nah, I think I'll probably go. I'll probably go R9, Messi, and Kaka. It's hard to without United players when you say that, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is. To be fair, yeah.
We've had that many fucking. I was going to say Ibra, and I was like, oh shit, he played for us. Forgot.
And to round it off, as I'm quite known for, I'm known for the hot take.
Shout out Skamaka, man. In fact, I honestly, Faysal, I used to run the maddest Skamaka prop ever. I still think he's absolutely nuts, man. Like honestly, nuts player.
What's your thoughts of him going to Atlanta?
Yeah, great move. He'll go and score 25 non-penalty goals and then get another move again. To get another move to just while we're here, man. If West Ham want to sign a striker scout, but anyone would do a better job than whoever they've got, man. If they profile one more striker incorrectly, they've got a bulldozer centre forward up front and they're looking at Jonathan David. Come on, man. Get a grip.
Yeah.
They sound like Awani or something.
That's David Moyes for you, man. That's David Moyes for you.
No surprises, man. No surprises.
And to round off, as I'm quite known of, it's the hot takes. Let's end it with a hot take of yours. Chat to me.
Hot take of mine. Oh my god, I don't even think I've never thought about a hot take in my life.
It could be something that you very, very it's one of your opinion, but you don't think anyone else would agree with it.
Fucking hell. I think I'd only have a United one, mate. Like
that's fine.
I don't think I could make
it could be anything.
Shit.
He's going to tell me Carrick is better than Tony Cruz. That's something. Don't even try. That laugh.
I've got one. I have actually got one. I think Wayne Rooney is like. I think Wayne Rooney is absolutely one of the most underrated players I've ever seen. Like 110%. Like 110%. I think people always consider Wayne Rooney like a Premier League legend, not an all-timer. And I think Wayne Rooney is an all-timer. I can't think of like a moment in Wayne Rooney's career where like the guy didn't step up. Like even in the Champions League finals when we lost, he scored. Like he won copious amounts of Premier League titles. He was a two-way guy. Like he got goals and assists. He's got the highest amount of goals for the best club in the past 40 years in the Premier League. Like, I think he's like, people compare him to like Aguero. Have a fucking day off. Aguero, come on. These levels, man. It's not even like people compare him to like these. Not a chance, man.
Drug bus, and
I don't know what season he would have got it for, but I think he's one of the. Do you know when people say like who's one of the best players of all time to never get a Ballon d'Or? And like they always mention like Ibra. I always think that he's one of them players. I just don't know how he didn't get a Ballon d'Or, but I don't know what season he would have got it for.
It's the season after Ronaldo left.
Yeah, with the black V.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. As a United fan, I think he's criminally underrated because United fans don't appreciate him as much because he's like a Scouser and he's not like United born and bred or 92. Like he should definitely have a statue outside Old Trafford. Why he doesn't? He's nuts. Like he literally plays for the club for
all-time Premier League strikers.
It depends on Premier League strikers. All-time players, I think. Do you know what people say like Henry like wipes the floor? I don't think Henry wipes the floor. I don't think so. I think there's definitely a debate to be had between him and Henry, and I love Henry.
You know what? That's a hard take.
There you go. Yeah. I probably would edge it Henry still, probably. But
so what? He's top 3 in your opinion?
For the amount of years he did, he's top 2. Top 2, easy in the Prem all time.
And that is,
I think only Henry. Yeah, all players Premier League, history. I think Henry's the only one who, if someone said it to me, I'd be like, all right, yeah. Like if anyone said any other player to me in Premier League history, I'd be like, nah, not a chance.
City fans are trying to push this narrative of KDB.
Nah. KDB, David Silva, Aguero, nah, not happening. Not a chance. Not a chance. Keep in mind that Wayne Rooney continued doing it even when we were shit. Yeah. And he did it. And people always make this thing about longevity, like because he played so many games when he was like 16, 17. But the guy literally dropped from a striker, a centre forward, to a 10, to a centre midfielder, to a DM, and never really dropped off in performance levels.
Yeah. So, no, you're right.
I don't know. I just think he's criminally underrated. But I don't think it's just for football fans. I think it's like United fans mainly. Like I don't think people like when I was naming the players who I'd take pass from United, I didn't even mention Rooney. I only clocked that after it. But like that, I just think it goes like too easy. I don't know. Like he should have a statue outside Old Trafford. There's no chance he doesn't.
Do you think? Because I know some United fans say, who do you think is a better United legend? Not legend necessarily, but as a player, Ronaldo or Rooney?
I think it is Rooney, but I think Ronaldo's obviously a better player. But in terms of being a bigger legend, like Ronaldo was here for what 4 years, 4 seasons. I think Rooney was here for like 5 seasons.
Yeah, from 2003 to 8. Oh,
yeah,
sorry, no, 4. Yeah, 4. 4 to 8.
Or 5 years, yeah. So I think, from Rooney to come in like 05 and stay here until he was 2017-18, it's like 13 seasons. And like there were things about him like going Chelsea halfway through, like, but I don't know. He always stuck with the club and won copious amounts of Premier League trophies. He always sacrificed himself for the team as well. Like every single number 9 we brought in, he always played second fiddle in terms of the goal scorer, like second fiddle to RVP, second fiddle to Ronaldo, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I think I don't know. I think he's always underappreciated in that aspect, but yeah.
I hear that, man. You know what? That's interesting. Top 2 Wayne Rooney Premier League players of all time. I respect it. I respect Liverpool fans will, of course, push Mo Salah. City fans will push KDB. Chelsea fans will push Eden Hazard. It's different arguments, man. And Arsenal fans will push Bukayo Saka by next season. So.
To be fair, someone just said his pro Glazer comments ruined his legacy, and that's actually annoying because if he'd have just kept his mouth shut on the ownership, like I would have ran prop to the moon. Like, honestly, I would have tweeted it and everything. But he needs to just learn how to keep his mouth shut when he's talking about the ownership. Because when he speaks about that, I'm like, come on, man.
And even when he talks about Ronaldo, you could just hear the bitterness.
Yeah. Well, the Ronaldo, it's different because obviously, like, people talk about the legend thing, but then the legend thing also ties to what he did after the time at United. Then obviously Ronaldo called out the Glazers, and Rooney kind of shone away on the subject. So I think that side of it's obviously like there's different angles there. So but I think on the pitch, like, Rooney did more for United in terms of being a legend for the club, but obviously Ronaldo had the best interest of the club at heart when it comes to the nitty-gritty and stuff like that. So
Absolutely. But yeah, man, listen, that's a great ending to a lot to nice fucking stream. 2 hours and 20 minutes. I appreciate you for coming on, despite, like I said, despite the short notice, and despite having a bad voice as well, man, and no water as well. So broski, love, like I said, love for coming on. For everyone that doesn't know him, of course, his @ is on the descriptions. Go follow him on Twitter. He's, like I said, one of the OG tacticos on TikTok. I swear, how many followers you got on TikTok? I swear it's a hell of followers on TikTok.
185,000.
He's clear, and also
250,000 cross-platform, which is fucking nuts, man.
Crazy. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks he's got a special announcement as well to make for everyone. So yeah, man. Hopefully we're going to see him a bit more for this season if Madrid United play in the Champions League group stage.
Yeah. That'd be nice, that.
100%. I'll bring you on. But mostly, like I said, man, hopefully I'll see more of you next season. And then, yeah, love for coming on once again.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.
No worries, bro. Anytime, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Love. And then, yeah, everyone else, love for, of course, tuning in. I think at one point, we went up to 400, I think, 450 people. And on a Saturday night at 12 p.m., it's crazy that you guys are just listening to ball. But hopefully the next one I'm going to do, I've done City, I've done Arsenal, and I've done City, I've done Chelsea, and I've done United. There's still 3 more clubs, which is Arsenal, Liverpool, and Spurs. One of them might be sacrificed. I'm still debating which one it is. One of them I'm not going to do because if I do 3 of them, that means I'm not going to do Madrid and Barca La Liga prediction for next season, which I've got with Neil. So one of them is going to be sacrificed. I'm still debating which one it is. Most likely it will be the Spurs one because we're not expecting too much from Spurs next season, to be fair. But yeah, the next one should be the next couple of days, and then after that, the following day, and then there's a La Liga prediction as well, and then we have. I've got a Saudi video that I'm working on, which I'm kind of working on. I'm doing the script for it, which is just trying to make the people understand that Saudi is not just a sudden surprise, man. Like, Saudi's been working on this for the past couple of years, but no one knows. So, like, it's all behind the scenes from the time they hired Mark Clattenburg as a referee back in 2017, 2018 to improve the refereeing. Like, they've done a lot of things behind the scenes which no one knows about. So this now what Saudi's doing, it's not a surprise that everyone knew. Like the ones proper, they knew before that it was going to happen. But yeah, man. Other than that, like I said, love for coming on, and I appreciate all the birthday wishes as well that I got. And so, guys, appreciate you, man, and love. Peace.